to the rat house, baby, where the truth ain't quiet, and neither are you. Where the ChatRats crew slide in, pull up a seat, crime talk, cold facts, and a jazzy backbeat. We got stories to tell, got some justice to serve. So pour up that coffee or something with a swerve. There's Rat Daddy leading 6'5", a cool Toys the queen with the sharpest of tools. Dean's cracking jokes, Mary B's got the tea, and Lawleen lays the law down, real boss energy. MJ's got the fire, Gingy's taking names, Jesse's dropping Angel Baby's in the game. The clerk's keeping order, Misty's watching close. Pinky promises, keeps receipts, and she does the most. We're the ChatRats, baby, worldwide and bold. Stories unfold while the crime scene gets cold. Puff, puff, pass, and the truth gets exposed. At the rat house, baby, that's how it goes. Snap, snap. Cherry lights it up. Sherry lights it up, neon glow behind her head. Tombstones drops the facts that awake the dead. Connor's taking notes, Janine's on the clock. Eddie the paralegal keeps the court on lock. Sweet woman, sweet, but she'll sting if you like. Calypso keeps it cool, got that island vibe. Prince Lover's in purple, that Texas pride glowing. Sherry's laughing loud while the facts keep flowing. Bum, 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 bum. Ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum, ghetto. OG coming through, crazy-eyed cheese, oh you better believe. Robo-rat clicks, sparks, gears in his head, breaking the code till the lies drop dead. Jump, we're the ChatRats, baby, worldwide and bold. Stories unfold while the crime scene gets cold. Puff, puff, pass, and the truth gets exposed. At the rat house, baby, that's how it goes. Crime solving, cracks. Worlds are stage. That's a fact. Together, we're the ChatRats crew. We ain't looking back.
Bam! What's up, people? What's going on? What's happening? Bumblebee Tuna. What y'all doing out there? Ooh, let's go through here and see who all's up in this bitch. Oh, let's see. Terry. Obviously, Terry. MJ. What up, MJ? Barbara. Hello, Barbara. Seriously, need to know. What up? Naughty dog. Can I pet that dog? Is that going to be an issue? Like, to pet that dog? If not, let us know. Lube and Dubin, what's up, Lube? And Mel Mac, what up, Mel? BB Stutz. BB Stutz says, I made it. Nice. We all made it. We're here. Winks in the house. What up, Warwicky? Unfit for normalcy. That's a good name. I like that. Sweet. Noodles. What up, Noodles? Terry DeVoe of Belle Biv and Terry DeVoe. Belle Biv and Terry DeVoe. What y'all doing out there? It's time for a little pregame show. Yellow. Angel Baby. It never fails. As soon as I start this, somebody will come through the door. So here go the dogs. Let's get it over with. What up, Bev's Inverted Morals? What's happening? Just waiting on the dogs to go nuts. Hold on a second. Cajun in the house. What up, Cajun? Mm-hmm. Oasis, what up, Oasis? Susie Potatoes, good name. Everybody loves potatoes, you know. Jenny Lynn, what up, Jenny Lynn? Boy's a Great Dane, nice. Welcome to the Rat House. A lot of S's, I'm S'ing a lot. My S'er's loose. What's up, Trust is Love. All right, so I was told the other day not to play so much damn music. I'm going to show you the comment because it's fun. Hold on. Let me get to it. I'm going to go here. One second. Let me find it. Anyways, it's not going to let me find it. Somebody said we need to stop playing all that music. We're trying to be JFK. We are not trying to be JFK. My wife does the music on her channel, and I am trying to help her build her subscribers. So we always warm up with a little bit of music. So today we'll ease in it with just two. I swear, just two. Two new ones. One by Tori, one by BLT. Who do we want first? All right, let's go with the BLT first. 2 songs, that's it, I swear. Promise. Then we'll kick this bitch off. This is BLT's new song. Guess Me If You Can. It's a good one.
A tune for the curious, the riddle-filled feast. A savory mystery, I'm the bacon, I'm the beast. I'm sizzling high in the lunchtime sky, but I'm hitting no deer. Some say I'm a sandwich or a cheeky cavalier. Could I be a mastermind in a lettuce disguise? Or the bacon kingpin spreading winks and lies? Hey man, who can truly see? Just another guy in a sandwich fantasy with a pinch of a pickle and a dash of delight. You'll find every guess is quite a silly sight. Guess me if you can, am I Tim or am I Ted? Am I just a snappy bun overcooked in my bed? Or a lazy potato just a totally out of place? Jathan wants to know, so let's pick up the pace. Could I be a man made of crispy dreams or an imposter chef with his classic schemes? What about a tomato with a tad too much pride, stirring spicy gossip while the others slide? Hey man, the truth is so sticky. Every guess just sticks to the jaw like a blicky. A lettuce-laden whisper floats under the sun. Bacon bits are giggling, oh, isn't this fun? Guess me if you can, am I Helen or Kurt? Did I slip from the garden or emerge from the dirt? Maybe just a riddle wrapped in lettuce and jam. Jathan on the prowl like a curious ham. Dive in, what a crunchy surprise. Could I be the world's most mystical prize? Eat your heart out sandwich sleuth, take a wild swing. I could be a jalapeno, I'm doing my thing. Guess me if you can, am I Billy or Clive? A bacon rap legend with an appetite to thrive. Maybe I'm just feedback wrapped in poet lore. Step right up and take a guess. Oh, what a score. So if you're wondering who lies behind my slice, just pull up a chair and wrap it with spice. I'm the enigma of flavor, the lord of the spread, and I'll remain a tasty mystery till the day I'm fed.
Good one. What up, Mary B?
Hey, how's it going?
Try not to choke on this Mary Joanna. That stuff.
You gotta be careful.
Yeah, I almost said it. What you doing?
Yeah. You know how dangerous it is, right?
Shh. Shh.
I am just, sleeping a lot. I had a lot of very people-y days.
Oh, you got to calm back down. You got to bring it back down.
Dude, I thought I could recoup after just one day. It's not enough. I need more days of recuperation.
What up, Rambo? Gingy's here. What up, Gingy? I can hear you echoing.
Me?
Yeah, I can hear myself through your shit. I can hear myself up in your shit.
All right. I moved the microphone back.
There you go. That'll work. That's better.
Okay, cool.
And this is Toy's new one.
Ooh.
People, go subscribe. She says 365. We can do it. We can get her to 500. We can get her to 500.
Let's do this.
That's a good one too. Both really trippy little videos.
Hey, hi. Pretty face up, my neck can't guard. You feel me first, long before you hear my name. Walk soft, hit hard, that's the law when I step in the yard. Sweet on the lips, but my truth cuts deep. Don't test me unless you're ready to bleed. I don't flex loud, my silence screams. Every move I make rewrites the scene. Storm in my veins, blade in my charm. I don't raise hell, I am the alarm. I'm that quiet shift in the room you sense. The tension you feel when your pride gets tense. The soft one, sure, but don't get it twisted. I'm the sweetest threat your ego ever enlisted. Honey in my voice, lightning on my skin. Blade in my step, danger wrapped in. I walk in calm, make the strong ones flinch. Pretty can be deadly if you push an inch. I learned my power by standing alone. No handouts, no pity. I built my own throne. Truth in my spine, holding my scars. I don't chase crowns, they orbit where I stand. Walk soft, hit hard. I shake the ground without trying too hard. Sweet on the lips, but my truth cuts deep. Don't test me unless you're ready to bleed. Power don't shout, my hums low. I turn still air into a live wire glow. Storm in my veins, blade in my charm. I don't raise hell, I am the alarm. Yeah. Been overlooked, underestimated, misread. They saw the smile, never saw what I bled. But pressure, baby, pressure, fed me. Turns off the skills, set the real one free. Every heartbreak, sharp in my aim. Every betrayal, I added fuel to my flame. They play games, I built worlds. They stole ideas, I rewrote the curls. I'm the woman you feel before you see. The guy you don't meet twice in my lifetime. Don't read me quite grace loud, so mind sharpened by pain. I don't fear storms, I became the rain. Walk soft, hard, hit hard, glow warm, cut sharp, pretty smile, loaded hard. This ain't luck, this is God. Walk soft, hit hard. Every step I take leaves the universe scarred. Sweet on the lips, but the truth runs deep. I wake giants, they hope we stay asleep. Power in my pulse, fire in my scars. I hop in the room without raising arms. Storm in my veins, blade in my charm. I don't raise hell, baby, I'm the alarm. Walk soft. Hit hard. On my name.
Another good one. Another good one. What up, Dean? What up, sweet one? Yo. Trying to
Hey
try to,
there.
that's how you gauge Dean's temperament for the day. You let him yo one time.
Gotta get that good yo out.
That was a
pitch.
happy.
The pitch of the yo will tell you
Mm-hmm.
where
Yeah.
Dean's at in his headspace.
Yeah,
So,
he can't
what-
hide his emotions.
No, he can't. No. What's up, sweet woman?
Nothing.
How's are you doing? How's are you doing?
I'm doing good. I was just filling up my water.
Oh, water, huh?
Staying hydrated. I like it.
Love it.
Yeah, before I start drinking.
Stay hydrated, people. Something you never heard in 1988 was stay hydrated.
No.
No.
All right. I will decide on one of these.
You had to ask to go to the water fountain.
What's up, MJ?
What up?
And usually they were like, no. I am dead.
Hi.
Hey, MJ.
I went to
MJ and
message
Dean.
Danny to make
MJ and
fun of
Dean here
him.
at the same time.
Shut up. I didn't
Okay.
realize you sent me the link. I just went to message you and make fun of you on Discord, and I saw it, so I was like, oh, hi.
Cool.
Oh, we actually did that right.
You came on panel and 11 people left immediately.
I'm sorry. Fuck them.
I'm just telling you, I could see it. And it just happened. It happened.
They're like, oh, not this stupid bitch. Get out of here.
Danny's just mad because he's the only one in this room that hasn't met in person.
As a what?
Hasn't met in person.
Oh, yeah, we should probably just
Oh,
keep
looks
Danny
like
on
Mary
panel.
B's having a bad connection. Oh, no. Mary B's connection. Really? It's a snowstorm, people. What happens? But yeah, I figured for once we'd try to get through frame 2. Because
that's right.
number 1, I like it. And number 2, we've never actually finished it during the show.
We try to get through what?
Frame 2,
Frame
the video.
I'm gonna pretend like I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
You do.
you've seen
You've watched
it
it
a
about
lot.
38 times. It's just one of the longer Turtle Boy videos, like summarizing the whole case of Karen Reed.
And who's Turtle Boy?
There's a
just
guy up in Mass. Oh, okay. Cool.
The amount of times I had to explain that this weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, hit the like, people. Listen to Prince Lover. It's just the way it is.
Oh, that reminds me. I got to send a link to my cousin. She was like, I need to see this show. I'm like, you're not going to know what the hell's going on. She's like, that's fine.
She just wants
Mhm.
to support you, Mary B. Jeez Louise.
And since Prince Lover is a moderator now, she's not going to do caps anymore. No more caps. Prince
Yeah.
Lover.
Making her a mod so she didn't have to do all
She
the
does. She does what all you people don't do. She goes to the videos after they're posted. She likes them. She hypes them, and she comments on them, which helps get the videos out there.
Dude, I like
Thanks.
all
Prince
of your
Lover.
videos.
Somebody's echo chamber is getting. Is it you, Dean?
No?
Sorry. Hold on. Let's try now.
Is it me?
It's Mary B.
Oh my god, Mary B.
Come on, Mary B.
Come on, Mary B. Shit. You've been doing this for about 9 months. now.
Fucking
Nothing's
headphones on.
different. Let me just figure this out. Okay, give me a minute.
It's just going to be your volume and your microphone proximity.
So I just want to say that I'm
Oh
a
God.
little disappointed. Danny had a stream
Here we go.
scheduled for last night, and he was like, dude, I put you on
Here
the
we go.
thumbnail. I was like, oh, dude, I'm so excited. I took a shower. I dressed in this exact shirt. I was like, oh, it's a nice new shirt I got. And then he was like, never mind, guys. I was like, God damn it, dude. And so I had to take this shirt off and then wear it today. Because I was so
You didn't
excited that
take
I
it
was
off,
on the
dude.
fucking thumbnail.
You slept in it. It smells horrible.
I was gonna say, did you sit in the chair all night waiting for a link?
I did. He was like, maybe later, so I just sat at my fucking computer desk for fucking hours. Just like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this.
We were gonna do
I
it.
think I fixed
We
it.
were gonna do it. You know, things happen, Dean.
Like,
Things
like
happen.
Yeah,
waiting
I
for
also
the
did the
dad to show
same.
up.
Last
Mm.
night I saw the show was coming on, so I took a shower and I got
Oh,
all ready.
Here we
And
go.
then today I saw the show was coming on and I did not take a shower this time. I just threw some stuff on my face and hoped that it looked like maybe I've taken a shower.
Sweet woman, your turn.
I didn't see
Uh-oh.
that last night, so
Sweet.
I wasn't.
Thank you. Thank you. MJ, no, you don't take baths.
No, I only do
I
that
know
like
you
once
didn't get
every
ready
few
for
months.
anything or anything like that.
Oh, let's be honest, as hi.
Well, you know, who wants to stream more than me? Nobody.
Hi,
Did
Marilyn.
you die?
Well, if I could get up to about 10 grand a month on them YouTube checks, then I could be here and we could stream all fucking day.
So
Every
kick
day.
it in, people.
It's
Kick
like-
it in.
Just like all these other creators. They just hang around the house all day. I think it's good to go and leave and get like 8 to 10 hours of real world and how work sucks, and then come home and appreciate the fact that you get on here and hang out with your so-called friends.
Boo, real world.
He almost
maybe-
called us his
maybe-
friend.
During the course of the show, I'll have some friends come on panel. That could happen.
I don't think you have any.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not any.
You
of-
just have us, Danny.
It's me.
That fucking sucks
It's
for
me.
you.
That's why
With us.
he said so-called
It's
friends.
just me and Sweet Woman. That's it.
Wait, the sweet woman or sweet woman?
Both.
They're different.
Hmm.
Both of them. But regular Sweet Woman is the best one. All right. So
Sweet woman's getting attacked.
getting attacked. No, we hear it. We hear it. You need us to call somebody for you?
Maybe. Hold on.
Maybe so.
It sounds very
So everybody is a turtle rider, I assume here. Turtle riders. Toy to boy. Toy to boy
I am.
riders. What's that dude say in that video? Toy to boy?
Twiddle boy.
Toy to boy. He has that little bit of a lisp below. So he's toy to boy. So this is pretty good right here. If you don't know anything about Karen Reed, you can get a little bit out of this for sure. And if you don't like it, then I guess there's plenty of other places to go.
Get the fuck out.
That's kind of rude, Mary B.
That's what
Very
I'm here
rude.
for.
That
Why
was
is Mary
very
being
rude.
me today?
Wow.
Because I didn't shower. The shower makes me nice.
Dean,
Yeah.
your idea about not letting anybody on panel but me and you was starting to look like a really good idea.
First
You
of
would
all, I
never.
didn't suggest that,
Okay. Here we go.
but I like the idea. I'm not going to disagree with you.
Oh my God. It's just not going to stop with you. And don't forget, people, we need the super chats. We need the gifted members.
I'm poor, I am.
Yeah, you are.
Love that. All right, let's get some of this going. Let's unmute it. Then let's get it going.
Turtleboy Daily News. For the last 2 years, I've been reporting on the murder of John O'Keefe and the prosecution of Karen Reed. In doing so, I've exposed unprecedented amounts of corruption in the Massachusetts State Police and the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office. As a result of my relentless journalism and activism, this case has gotten more attention than any murder case since O.J. Simpson. Millions of people now know that Karen Reed was framed and that the people who murdered John O'Keefe were protected by their friends and family in law enforcement. This has led to widespread outrage and demonstrations outside the courthouse and in the streets across the country. Because of the damaging effect that my reporting and protesting has had on the Commonwealth's case and reputation, I was arrested by the same police I've been exposing and charged with 16 counts of felony witness intimidation, conspiracy, and picketing. The charges are completely meritless and were designed to get me to stop reporting and stop leading this movement for justice. And over
Crazy. We go from Merry Christmas, like I I have responded to so many Merry Christmases with Merry Christmas. I love Christmas, but I'm ready for it to be over. But I just saw that the Happy New Year ones are coming. So it is equally, it's going to be a lot of Happy New Year to you.
See, I like the New Year. I don't like Christmas, but I do like New Year.
You can't just like one of those. It's the same week.
Yeah, you can like one of them. Yeah.
They're totally different holidays, Danny.
There's one you have to spend all of your money and go to 4 parties in 24 hours.
Right.
And one, you don't have to do anything and you can just sit at home, make some resolutions, and watch the glare for 12 hours. Is he still doing that?
He said he's going to.
Okay, good. Because that's like officially my plans.
Yeah, that's like the annual New Year's now.
Yeah.
I see where this stream is going. So if you guys want me to say anything where you can rebut it really quick, just let me know.
You know
Cool.
what,
Any topic. Oh,
that's
shit.
what we're here for, right?
Baker's here. There's
Thank
one more.
God.
One more.
Do you want me to leave
I'm
so Baker can
famous.
come up?
I'm definitely famous. And that's if my cousin has come in that I just sent the link to. Everyone, see how everyone's saying that I'm famous? That's because it's
Yeah.
true.
It's true.
Review of my charges can be found in the video linked in the description. When I first started writing about this case, I made a video called Frame, which was a condensed overview of the case at the time. However, much has come to light since then, including a trial that ended in a hung jury. And as we enter the retrial, an updated version of Framed was needed. This video is the complete summary of the most important facts of the case. Look how flat the street is! Which prove undeniably that Karen Reed is innocent and that the people who murdered John O'Keefe framed her for their crimes. On January 29th, 2022, Boston police officer John O'Keefe was found dead outside Brian Albert's house in Canton during a severe blizzard. O'Keefe's girlfriend, Karen Reed, who had dropped him off there earlier, became the sole suspect and was charged with manslaughter. She was later indicted for second-degree murder. Authorities claimed Reed hit O'Keefe with her SUV and fled the scene. However, emerging evidence pointed to O'Keefe being beaten inside Albert's house and left on the lawn to frame Karen Reed. The well-connected Albert family has been protected by their friends and family in law enforcement and the DA's office. They expected Karen Reed to give up and take a plea deal, but instead she fought back, uncovering details of the conspiracy surrounding the case. Karen Reed was arrested and charged with manslaughter on February 1st, 2022. Her attorney, David Yannetti, did not allege any conspiracy to frame his client at her February 2nd arraignment. Outside of court, Yannetti simply said,
I think that there was a lot of political pressure on this district attorney's office to bring charges in light of the fact that a police officer was the victim here. This is a defensible case. I will tell you that my client has no criminal intent. She loved this man. She is devastated.
He did not state or suggest that his client did in fact strike O'Keefe with her car. Karen was admittedly drunk on the evening of January 28th and had no memory of hitting John O'Keefe with her car. She says that she saw him go into the house, but had no idea how he ended up dead on the lawn. She began to wonder if she could have accidentally bumped into John without realizing it. One thing that didn't cross her mind in the days after John died was that the people inside Brian Albert's house would beat him up and throw him on the lawn to die like trash. That changed on February 3rd, 2022, the day after Reed's arraignment. Yannetti was visited in his Boston office by a man named Steve Scanlon. Scanlon was a former corrections officer and a longtime friend of Brian Albert. He told Yannetti that he should look at the people inside the house and opined that O'Keefe was beaten up by Brian Albert, an ATF agent, and Albert's nephew, and that they later moved his body to where Reed found him at 6 a.m. Although Scanlon didn't specify names, didn't mention Colin Albert or Brian Higgins in particular, they were the only ones who matched this description who were at the house that night. This was the first time Karen had heard that Colin was at the house, and it suddenly started making sense what had happened. From that point on, she began investigating the investigation into her and discovered that she was being framed. Scanlon wanted to be a whistleblower, but since he's a coward, he also wanted to remain anonymous and wouldn't sign an affidavit for David Yannetti. When I spoke with Scanlon, he told me that he didn't know for sure what had happened to John, but said that the injuries to John, quote, didn't add up There's just one problem with that, though. John's autopsy photos
Not gonna
weren't
happen.
released at that time, and his injuries hadn't been reported
Too
by any
late.
media outlets. So Scanlon would have no idea what his injuries were. Scanlon wasn't wrong, though. When people get run over by cars, they generally have bruises all over their body and broken bones. Not John O'Keefe, though. He had no bruises or broken bones below his nose, but he did have 2 black eyes, defensive wounds on his knuckles, a 3-inch laceration in the back of his head, indicating that he had been hit by a blunt object, and what appears to be dog bites exclusively on his right arm. You don't have to be a doctor to know that a car did not do that. Karen Reed and John O'Keefe dated 20 years ago and reconnected romantically after speaking on Facebook during the pandemic. During those 20 years, John left his job as a Duxbury police officer to join the Boston Police Department. In 2014, John's sister and brother-in-law tragically died in less than 3 months of each other, leaving John's young niece and nephew without their parents. John stepped up and became their parent, raising them alone and moving to Canton. Karen worked for Fidelity as a financial analyst and was an adjunct professor at Bentley University. She owned a home in Mansfield, but for all intents and purposes was cohabitating with O'Keefe and acting as a de facto stepmother to O'Keefe's niece and nephew. Text messages leading up to the night O'Keefe was killed show that Reed felt taken advantage of by John, as some referred to her as the, quote, babysitter with benefits. Ouch. John didn't like how she spoiled the kids. They argued, as many couples do, sometimes in front of the kids, and discussed breaking up. There was an incident in Aruba a month before John died, where Karen angrily confronted a woman named Marietta Sullivan and accused her of kissing John. And Karen was frustrated that John got drunk during the trip and left her to take care of his kids. Karen herself sought validation and attention from an ATF agent friend of John's named Brian Higgins, who she flirted with over texts in January of 2022, but ultimately ended up ghosting him after a tap kiss in John's garage 2 weeks before John died. One time, John told Karen to leave the house.
Hey, Dean.
Yep.
Is there a name on the hats that you supply to stores? Like, there's hats in all the stores down here. I've been noticing them since you got your job back or whatever. And it's like Dover or something.
Not that. No, there's usually a circle. So it depends, right? Because we manufacture our own hats, and then we also buy from other companies, right? So like the ones that we manufacture will have a circle, like the circle sticker on the bill that says BSW on them, and then other ones will have the other company that we buy from.
Okay.
But Dover is not one of them.
Well, if it was, I was going to buy one of them.
Well, it's fucking not, Danny. So.
Oh.
Yeah,
But they never ended up breaking up because
so don't
Karen was so
support those
helpful with the
shitbags.
children. Despite their occasional arguments, John and Karen were lovey-dovey at CF McCarthy's. On the night that she allegedly killed him and was described by witnesses to be affectionate towards one another. On Friday, January 28th, the huge winter storm coming to Massachusetts was all over the news. John and Karen texted back and forth all day, talking about problems in their relationship. But whatever issues they had with each other wasn't enough to keep them apart that night, as John repeatedly invited her to Canton to drive him around to the bars and get snowed in with him and the kids for the weekend. John went out to a local bar called CF McCarthy's with his friends Mike Camerano and Kurt Roberts. Karen drove in from Mansfield and met them there at 9 p.m. She immediately began ordering drinks and could be seen on camera paying for 4. By 11 o'clock, Reed and O'Keefe made plans to go to a bar across the street and meet up with a woman named Jennifer McCabe, who O'Keefe was friends with because his niece was friends with one of McCabe's 4 daughters. McCabe was at the bar with her husband, Matt McCabe, her sister, Nicole Albert, Nicole's husband, Brian Albert, Brian's brother, Chris Albert, and Chris's wife, Julie Albert. Joining them there was Brian Higgins, the ATF agent Reed had previously flirted with earlier in the month before, quote, ghosting him. While they were there, Jennifer McCabe invited O'Keefe to Brian Albert's house for an after party, where Brian Albert Jr. was celebrating his 23rd birthday with several friends and his 17-year-old cousin, Colin Albert. One witness described McCabe as trying to separate John from Karen, who had no interest in going to an after party at a stranger's house. After an hour, the bar closed and Brian and Nicole Albert left to go back to their home at 34 Fairview Road. Higgins can be seen on video yelling and pointing in O'Keefe's direction before being held back and restrained by Chris Albert. While he was at the bar, he had texted O'Keefe's girlfriend, well, as if to say, why are you ignoring me? He was drunk. upset with O'Keefe and felt disrespected by O'Keefe's girlfriend. When Nicole and Brian Albert got back home, they testified that their nephew Colin was still there, but that he left within a few minutes. Colin claimed that he had been there for 90 minutes, dropped off earlier in the evening by Jennifer McCabe's daughter, Allie, so that he could wish his much older cousin, Brian Albert Jr., a happy birthday. Despite being a teenage meathead who loves to drink and party, Colin's story is that he left the house minutes after his fun uncle arrived to the party because he wanted to get home, kiss his parents goodnight, and go to bed. Right. Physical violence and toughness are things that are encouraged amongst male members of the Albert family. Brian Albert is a former Marine and trained boxer with 30 years of experience as a Boston police officer, serving on the fugitive unit where he was in charge of tracking down and arresting some of the most violent and dangerous criminals. He reportedly assaulted 2 other Boston police officers named Eddie Hernandez and Stephen Ridge and had a bad reputation amongst the rank and file in the BPD. Chris Albert is a thug who has political power in town. On June 23rd, 2024, he threatened to beat my face up and down the sidewalk outside CF McCarthy.
Up and down the sidewalk in 2 seconds.
You'll beat my face?
No, I wouldn't. I could.
You could, yeah. You seem really intimidated. Then watched gleefully as one of his employees and his crazed sister-in-law, Jill Daniels, assaulted me on camera.
Oh, look who it is. Look who she is. Here she is.
You know what? I'm so sick of your shit.
You are a big fucking bird.
Oh, look who it is. Look who she is.
You're a big fucking bird.
You know what? I'm
You're a caller.
You're a big fucking
so sick
bird.
of your shit.
You're a big. Look at this violent chick.
Dude, ever since he's mentioned it, I cannot like see a scene with these two and not see it as banter.
She's 80 pounds.
Right.
I know, but like she's like flirting with him, you know? She's really mad here.
100%.
But all the time, it's banter. It is not fighting, it's banter. It's different.
She ain't no big fucking bird. She's a little fucking bird.
Sounds like me yelling at Dakota.
Yeah, it's like MJ coming up trying to take your phone away, and then it's like it's like an iPad tablet. Then it's like the iPad Pro. Your phone is little in your hand, and you give it to MJ, and she's got it with 2 hands.
It covers my whole face.
Terrifying. Terrifying with 2 little women.
Dude,
Chris knew he can get away with this because the McAlberts, Jill Daniels, assaulted me on camera.
Oh, look who it is. Look who she is. Here she is.
You know what? I'm so sick of your shit.
Chris knew he can get away with this because the McAlberts basically
with
run the
her
town
bones.
again. Chris
That's
is
the
on the board of
funniest shit I've
selection.
ever seen
Brother
in my
Kevin Albert's a detective
I wish
sergeant.
he
Brian Albert is a
accidentally
legend,
punched her.
and Tim Albert once owned a pool.
Chrissy
As a
Nelson.
member of the select board, Chris is in charge of hiring the police
Charlie.
chief who works
Hey,
for him.
Charlie.
Unsurprisingly, Chief Helena Rafferty and former Chief Ken Berkowitz both supported Chris Albert's campaign for selectman and used their positions of authority to cast doubt on what was plainly a cover-up in the eyes of any rational person. Chief Berkowitz allowed Brian Higgins to have an office at the Canton Police Department and asked a reporter to take down a tweet on February 1st, 2022, because the tweet mentioned the fact that John O'Keefe's body was found on Brian Albert's front lawn, and Brian Albert was a, quote, pillar of the community who didn't deserve to have his reputation tarnished. In November of 2023, the people of Canton held a special town meeting where they voted to audit the police department despite the select board and Chris Albert voting 5-0 not to. Colin was the star of the Canton High School football team and the quintessential jock who thought football was cool, but Shakespeare was a loser. He was also neighbors with O'Keefe and had reportedly gotten into shouting matches with his much older neighbor after throwing beer cans on O'Keefe's lawn. Colin's parents jokingly referred to O'Keefe as Nebercracker in reference to a grumpy cartoon character who didn't like people on his lawn. Colin has a history of violence.
And Colin also has a history of arguing with John. That's why they call him
And
the old
taunting
dude's
him.
Mhm.
They all like taunt him.
all of them.
Like,
Those pictures on his grass and shit. That that's aggravating and shit. That's not like some long running fun joke.
Right. And John
not one of
probably like
those.
always laughed it off, but he was probably like, these fucking douchebags.
Yeah, he probably doesn't like
Yeah.
Colin's little bitch ass. He's like, I want you to stay the fuck off of my property, you little bastard.
Yeah. Okay.
And what do? They sneak over there and take pictures to send him in the yard while he's gone. And it's probably not like he's some grass lover or something. He's just probably aggravated with their ass.
Yeah, just doesn't want them on his property, period.
All right, who's riding a motorcycle?
It's not me this time.
Plain.
A sweet woman. She's riding a Harley.
Yeah.
It's the
He
plane.
got into several fights that were memorialized on video.
Never been in a fight before.
He had also issued disturbing threats to.
Yo, your advantage boys. I will beat all your asses. I promise you, I will fuck you all up.
They ruined this song for me.
Pull up, bitch.
Despite this, Colin claimed during the trial that he had never been in a fight before, something that was undeniable perjury. Like many others, Colin looked up to and admired his uncle Brian. Family photos of the Alberts almost always show the men either giving the middle finger to the camera or holding up their fists like boxers do. Commonwealth wants us to believe that as soon as his uncle Brian got back to the party, Colin just immediately decided.
What'd you say, Mary B? You say something?
I said they ruined that song for me.
Oh, the song.
Yes.
I said their pose was weird.
Both are true. Two things can be true at once.
Laura J says justice for Adele. Right? I agree.
Oh, God.
It's time to leave. Colin, Chris, and Julie Albert have all known state police detective Michael Proctor for decades. And as luck would have it, Proctor ended up being assigned lead investigator for O'Keefe's murder. 7-year-old Colin was the ring bearer in Proctor's sister Courtney's wedding. There's pictures of Colin and his family all over Courtney's Facebook page. And Proctor's own mother referred to the Alberts as a, quote, second family. Yet Proctor did not recuse himself from the investigation or disclose this close relationship. In fact, he denied.
I just hear Police Academy from when I was little. When he's just screaming, Proctor, which is hilarious. Diane G.
Hey, Diane G. Now it's trouble.
Yeah, it is.
I wanted to make sure you stopped it before I said hello. Yes, nice to see you guys.
Hey.
Diane G. See if you can read that banner, Dean. Dean's asleep. Okay.
Oh, he didn't put up his little "Be Right Back" sign.
He didn't have his going to smoke sign on.
Smoking. Good for you, buddy.
Diane G, what you doing tonight? What you doing? It's Saturday.
I'm in the middle of making lasagna. I washed my hands just to check to see if there was a link there, and it was. So I'm here because I love you guys.
You always get the link. MJ, me and Diane G are talking.
I don't care. She likes me more than she likes you.
Wow. You want to have technical difficulties like Mary B did earlier?
Yeah, you're getting kind of powered, dude. I don't like it. I don't like how this is turning out.
You guys are sick.
That when he testified in front of the grand jury that indicted Reed, he said he didn't know him. Karen discovered by researching the Albert and Proctor families on social media this was a lie. Throughout the investigation, Proctor went out of his way to protect the McAlberts by treating them as witnesses instead of potential suspects and not interviewing eyewitnesses and even accepting bribes from the Alberts on the day that Reed was arrested. Shortly after Brian and Nicole arrived at 34 Fairview Road, Jennifer and Matt McCabe pulled into the driveway and parked there. At 12:14, John O'Keefe had just left the waterfall bar with Karen Reed and texted Jen McCabe asking where to. At 12:18, he called her asking her to clarify directions. Unfamiliar with the town that she didn't live in, Karen went slightly out of the way to get there, coming from the east on Cedar Crest Road. She missed the left-hand turn onto Fairview Road, did a U-turn in the driveway, and then she went back to Fairview Road. When she did so, a truck was coming from the opposite direction and was trying to turn left on Fairview Road. Inside that truck was Ricky D'Antano, Heather Maxon, and her boyfriend Ryan Nagel, whose sister Julie Nagel was a friend of Brian Albert Jr. and it called him looking for a ride home. D'Antano allowed Reed to turn onto 34 Fairview and drop John off in the driveway, where she claims that she saw him run quickly to the side door. D'Antano, Maxon, and Nagel pulled in seconds afterwards and testified that they did not see John O'Keefe run into the house, which would make sense because the other cars in the driveway would have obstructed their view from seeing him. Karen had no intention of going inside because she didn't know anyone there. And throughout the whole scene, she just thought it was sketchy because the house was dark and Higgins had just yelled at O'Keefe before leaving the bar. But John was drunk and wanted to go, so she agreed to drop him off. The plan was for him to call or text her that he was inside to let her know everything was fine and she'd go back to his house 3 miles away at One Meadows Ave, where his 14-year-old niece was home alone. But John never called or texted Karen Reed again. As she waited outside, she became frustrated with John for not calling her and assumed that he had once again gotten drunk and left her to take care of his kids. After 10 minutes, she left and drove back to John's house, leaving all sorts of angry voicemails and text messages accusing him of cheating on her. This is the exact opposite thing that you would do if you just murdered someone. Scott Peterson and countless other killers have left voicemails for their victims, pretending to be worried about them.
Hey, beautiful. I just left a message at home. 2:15. I live in Berkeley. I won't be able to get to the Villa.
Sounds a lot like the messages that Dean leaves me. Did you hear that? Let's listen to that again.
Beautiful.
Countless other killers have left voicemails for their victims, pretending to be worried about them.
Hey, beautiful. I just left a message at home. 2:15. I live in Berkeley. I won't be able to get to the Villa Farms to get that basket for Papa. I was hoping you would get this message and go on out there. I'll see you in a bit, sweetie. Love you. Bye.
Reed's messages indicated that she thought John was alive, possibly with another woman, and had left her alone to watch his children. Who wouldn't be pissed? According to Trooper Nicholas Garino, Karen Reed logged into John's Wi-Fi at 12:36 a.m. The 2.3-mile trip from Fairview Road to One Meadows Ave, which included going through a traffic light in the center of town, would have taken at least 6 minutes in ideal conditions. In the snow, it would take much longer. That means Karen had to leave Fairview Road no later than 12:30 a.m. This presents a huge problem for the Commonwealth. Ricky D'Antano, Heather Maxson, and Ryan Nagel all testified that Julie Nagel came out and said that she was going to stay there instead. They all left while Karen Reed was still parked outside and drove by her Lexus. All three of them testified that they saw Karen Reed alone in her car with the interior lights on, in her hands at 10 and 2 on the steering wheel. None of them saw John O'Keefe inside the car with Karen Reed. None of them saw O'Keefe on the ground outside the car or standing outside the car. This means there could only be one place that O'Keefe was, inside Brian Albert's house. The forensic evidence backs this up. John's Apple Health data shows that he ascended and descended 3 flights of stairs between 12:22 and 12:24 a.m. Karen's Apple Health data does not show her going up any flights of stairs during that time. This means that Reed and O'Keefe could not be in the same place at that time. Brian Albert has 2 flights of stairs in his house. Karen Reed's Lexus doesn't have a basement. Don't worry though, the Commonwealth has an explanation for that. You see, John's GPS, which has a 3-minute standard deviation from the actual time, shows that he wasn't there yet at 12:22. According to Detective Garino, the Norfolk DA's forensic expert, John was on Oakdale Road and was probably moving the phone up and down in the car.
The movement of the phone, the distance traveled, it's going to register as steps. You don't have to physically be walking and moving the phone for it to register movements. Just waving it around and then could potentially cause it to think you're walking and moving.
Which somehow tricked Apple into believing that he had just climbed a couple flights of stairs. Garino testified that it was a very hilly street. So I tried driving down Oakdale Road to see if I could get my Apple Health data to say I climbed stairs. This is what I found.
Look how flat this street is. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Watch out for the hill, kid.
The flattest street in Canton. Unsurprising.
That kid's fucking living on the edge. Did you see that shit? Fucking just crazy how that kid was. Watch this.
Watch out for the hill, kid.
Look at this. Look at this kid. What are you, like on the X Games or something? Fucking crazy. I hope your mom's got good health insurance. Poor kid. How's he ever going to stop that thing?
That was the funniest thing.
The flattest street in Canton. Unsurprisingly, my Apple Health data did not show that I had climbed any flights of stairs. D'Antano, Maxson, and Ryan Nagel all testified that there were no cars in between them and Reed's Lexus. This presented a problem for the Commonwealth, so they had to try to find a way to discredit them. The solution to this was for Matt McCabe, Jen McCabe, and Brian Higgins to make up a lie that Higgins had parked his white Jeep next to Brian Albert's mailbox, which would have been in between the Lexus and D'Antano's truck.
And after the end of the driveway, there was a Jeep. And after the Jeep was the SUV, the dark SUV.
You did not see, for instance, a Jeep with a snowplow on the front parked in between you.
I did not.
And in fact,
You indicated that that Jeep was just a little bit in front of the mailbox, meaning about there, correct?
Yes.
You certainly did not see a full-sized Jeep Wrangler outfitted with a snowplow between the SUV and Ricky's truck.
I did not.
I want to ask.
Where was it? Oh my God. This is just nuts.
Like, since it doesn't matter anymore, can they just like give us the answer now?
They were somewhere.
We just want to know where it was. Like, just give us that one.
Yeah. Just one thing. That's it. One thing. Can you just take the huge mystery out of one thing? There's too many little coincidences that are huge mysteries.
Right.
It's a Jeep with a fucking plow on the front of it and a bunch of extra LED lights. I'm not saying it was turned on, but you'd pull up and you'd be like, oh, look, cool. A Jeep with a plow.
I bet it had a battering ram too. You know how those Jeeps have like the big grill on the front? I bet he had like all the extra crap.
Oh, yeah, that thing. You can see it in the Sallyport video.
Yeah, you knew. You saw it. You're just too drunk to remember where you saw it.
It was in Kelleher's driveway across the street.
You think? And then still nobody saw it?
Well, it probably
He's the
like
cop.
blended in. Who would be paying attention to over there?
He was the cop that lives across the street.
It's not 3-acre lots. I mean,
No, but he saw nothing of significance on his camera.
Right.
Well, I wish we could have just reviewed the footage of his camera that night.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, he wiped that. You know it.
Take my word for it. There was nothing on it.
Yeah, don't worry about it, guys. Nothing to see.
Just everything. The whole fucking event.
Yeah, the news was like, oh, we have it on Ring camera, but they didn't.
Right.
It possibly could have not triggered a recording thing, too.
You just don't see Karen Reed hitting John with her car, so don't worry about it.
Right. There's nothing there because nothing happened.
Because if you did see it on there, we'd all have viewed that already.
100%.
I mean, if it was on there, they'd have come up with it for
If
sure.
they had anything that could prove anything, they would have brought it out, and they didn't.
Bastards.
A question about Mr. Higgins. On Friday,
Jackie
you saw
B.
his vehicle when you got to see it, correct?
Yes.
You said that it was pulled up a little bit in front of the mailbox, correct?
Yes.
Did any car pull in between Ricky's truck and the SUV when you were sitting behind the SUV?
No, sir.
You didn't see a Jeep?
No, sir.
With a big old snowplow on the front of it?
No, sir, I did not.
That car was never between your car and the SUV, was it?
I never saw any other vehicle in between us.
And then after the end of the driveway, there was a Jeep. And after the Jeep was the SUV, the dock SUV.
Timeline of Karen getting back to One Meadows Ave at 12:36 was also problematic because Jen McCabe testified that she looked out the window 3 times and Karen was still there at 12:45. The Commonwealth claims that Karen struck John with her car at 12:32, meaning she couldn't get back to O'Keefe's house by 12:36, and she definitely wouldn't still be at Brian Albert's house at 12:45. In order to make it look like she was worried about where John was, Jennifer McCabe called his phone 6 times between 12:40 and 12:50. She later testified that they were actually butt dials, none of which resulted in the voicemail being left on John's phone because she would hang up and then I guess butt dial again. Then there's the Canton Library video, which perfectly captures the intersection in the middle of town that Karen would have driven through on her way back to John's house. If she had just hit John with her car, then her taillight would be visibly broken on that surveillance video and they could nail her. The IT director, Louis Jutras, gave state police a share file with all the footage from that night, which Proctor then burned onto a CD. When he did that, the footage from the 2-minute window where Reed drove by was mysteriously missing. You got that? It recorded everything except for when the woman with the allegedly broken taillight drove by. How convenient. But the library wasn't the only place that surveillance videos that could have shown the condition of Reed's taillight as she drove back to John's house. There's hundreds of homes along the way, many of which have Ring cameras. Did police ask any of these homeowners to look at them? I randomly stopped and asked a homeowner who told me no one ever asked him for his.
What is it you need to know now? So I was just wondering, did the state police ever come by here and ask for Ring camera footage from the morning of January 29th, 2022?
No, they haven't.
They have. Normally, police canvass all over town asking for Ring and other surveillance videos, but the murder of a Boston cop wasn't worthy of that sort of effort, apparently. They knew Reed's taillight wasn't broken at 12:35, and they knew that asking to look at videos would exonerate her. Inside the house, when Karen Reed left, were Matt McCabe, Jen McCabe, Brian Albert, Nicole Albert, Brian Albert Jr., Caitlin Albert, Julie Nagel, Brian Higgins, and Albert Jr.'s friend, Sarah Levinson. But for some reason, people didn't question Nagel or Levinson until 9 months after O'Keefe's death, and Caitlin Albert, Brian Albert Jr., and several others until 18 months later, despite the fact that they all would have likely heard or seen a murder less than 50 feet from where they were standing. Proctor had no interest in speaking with any of these people. Not a single person inside the house reported hearing a man who was invited over the house being hit by a car outside. Matt and Jen McCabe testified that they were looking out the window frequently. Matt McCabe even said that he saw V-shaped tire tracks in the snow. Remarkably, neither of them noticed John O'Keefe's body on the front lawn. John was 6'2", 220 and was found just 10 feet from the curb. Yet not a single person saw his body as they drove directly past where the Commonwealth claims O'Keefe's body was, which would have been illuminated by the bright white snow. They all had their own excuses for that, including peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Then there's Tristan Morris and Caitlin Albert. Tristan was at the waterfall with his girlfriend Caitlin, but left early to go back to their apartment in East End and sleep for a couple hours before waking up to plow. Caitlin planned on staying the night at her parents' house at 34 Fairview Road. But for some unexplained reason, Tristan was woken up in the middle of the night by Caitlin, who told him to come and pick her up. What happened to change your plans? Perhaps a Boston police officer was beaten to death inside the home that she was supposed to sleep in that night. In Michael Lang's police report, it says that he spoke with Brian and Nicole Albert, who told him that Caitlin Albert left at 12:15 with Tristan. Conveniently, this would have gotten her out of the house before John and Karen arrived, and thus police would have no reason to question her. But after Caitlin and her parents received a summons from the FBI to testify at the federal grand jury, the Alberts were advised by their attorney, Greg Henning, not to lie about when they left because the feds already knew the answer to that. Caitlin admitted that Tristan did not pick her up until 1:45. And when Brian Albert was asked about the 12:15 time in Lank's report, Albert blamed Lank for writing down the wrong time. If police knew that Tristan had picked up Caitlin at 1:45, it would make Tristan a witness since he would have driven right past where John O'Keefe was allegedly dying of hypothermia. At trial, Tristan claimed that he never saw a body on the lawn because he was distracted, just like everyone else who left the house that night. The more people involved in a conspiracy, the harder it is for everyone to keep their story straight. This is why Brian Albert and Jennifer McCabe went out of their way to say that their kids had all left before John and Karen arrived. Less people to interview means less people to tell a different version of events of the story. After Jennifer McCabe got home from dropping off Julie Nagel and Sarah Levinson, her Apple Health data shows that she went upstairs and was pacing around all morning. Her heart rate shows that she never went to sleep. Something was on her mind. Then, at 2:27 and 40 seconds, she Googled the most incredible.
So their lawyer told them not to lie,
Probably.
but that's what Turtleboy did. He told them not to lie, and he got charged with witness intimidation. Wow.
When the grand jury summons came down, like, what was that, March? Like, it was a while after they were investigating. April, maybe? Like, when did the 227 search come out? April, right?
I believe it was in April, yeah.
Between February and April, there was a grand jury summons for all those people, right? The House defendants. And they had to go, and their lawyer said, the feds are interviewing you. They probably know more than we do, type of thing.
That's crazy if you have to tell your client not to lie.
Like, so that story you're making up, don't try that here.
Like a cop found another cop's lawn. I think the feds. I don't know why the feds got involved. There's a lot of rumors about that. Right? We don't really know, but it's like a cop got killed on another cop's lawn, regardless of how it happened. So I think that's all it took. But that's my 2 cents.
That screams federal case to me.
Can they just give us the answer to that one?
But people say Karen involved the feds. So I
Right.
don't know. Do we really know that?
So
That'd be cool. Like, that seems a simple enough one. Somebody knows. There's some paperwork
Right.
that's impounded that we just don't see.
No one has to really admit fault to do that one, you know?
Mary B, did you see where
Doesn't sound like a stretch.
somebody clipped your Who's Making Biscuits?
Can we watch it?
Wait, what happened?
I gotta figure out who clipped it and where it's at. But yeah.
Me?
Oh yeah. Remember the other night I was like, somebody's gonna clip that shit. Who's making biscuits?
Well, yeah, you gave the suggestion, so of course they did.
And they did. It's fucking hilarious.
Incriminating
Why
thing
is
she
there
could
people
possibly
ideas
have
to bully
Googled.
me?
How long to die in cold? Except she spelled it Hauslong to die in cold. Why would she Google this if she thought John O'Keefe had decided to go home with Karen Reed and never went inside Brian Albert's house? She had to have known that the plan was to put O'Keefe's body out on the lawn to make it look like he had died from hypothermia after being struck by a car. McCabe must have realized it was a huge mistake to Google this because the Cellbrite extraction report of her phone shows that she deleted the search along with 18 phone calls made that morning. In order to cover her tracks, she planned to Google the same thing the same exact way after O'Keefe's body was found because it would be more explainable after finding out he was
Wait,
lying in the
I have a
snow. She ended
question.
up doing this at 6:24, but claims Karen.
What's up, buddy?
Did she ever give an excuse as to why she looked that up?
She says she didn't. She did not. She did it at 6:30 or whatever, 6:27.
Yeah, but what was her reasoning for doing it?
Well, the explanation they gave was that the tab she opened, like to Google basketball games or bullshit about this and that at 2:27, stayed open. And then when she pulled up the tab to do the Google search that supposedly Karen was telling her to do, that it still logged that 6:27 or 6:20, whatever, Google search as 2:27. So that's the discrepancy or the mystery or the conspiracy.
Okay.
Right.
Well, everybody in the chat gave me the actual answer I wanted, Danny. I just want you to know. They said because Karen told her to, is what she said.
Well, that isn't how it made.
He eventually said that.
I mean, after like 5 minutes, Danny. Come on.
I was trying to get to it and give you the backstory of why it's such a big deal.
Yeah, I'm just
Oh,
joking.
Danny, he's a know-it-all. He's got to explain all the
I
details.
won't anymore. I'll just fucking let y'all just sit there and fucking.
Laulene's absence.
I know
Someone
Diane
has to
Cheaty
work
and
with
Sweet
that.
Woman know. MJ's stoned. She doesn't know where she's at. And Dean doesn't pay attention.
Reed was the
That
one
is
who
true.
told her to do this while John O'Keefe was being wheeled into the ambulance. However, according to Sergeant Good's testimony, Karen Reed was alone in a car at 6:24, and dash camera footage confirms this. Jennifer McCabe was trying to cover her tracks. The answer to Jen's question is 1 to 2 hours. That's all it would take for a person to die from hypothermia in an 18-degree snowstorm. If Karen Reed struck John O'Keefe with her car at 12:32, then he should have been dead when his body was discovered at 6 a.m. But he wasn't, so he couldn't have been out there for very long. Jennifer McCabe handed her phone over to police just days after O'Keefe's death, and the contents were all extracted by Detective Garino. Nowhere in Garino's report did it mention anything about a deleted Google search for Hoss Long to Die in Cold at 2:27 a.m. In fact, it didn't show the 6:24 search for the same thing either. And as it turned out, Garino has a history of manipulating Cellbrite data extraction reports. In February of 2021, a pregnant woman named Sandra Birchmore was found dead in her Canton apartment, and what state police, many of whom were involved in the Reed investigation, immediately determined was a suicide by hanging with a belt. Birchmore was last visited in her apartment by 6'4" Stoughton police detective Matthew Farwell, who had impregnated her and wasn't happy about it due to the fact that he was married with 2 kids and was about to have a third. Farwell met Birchmore when he was working in the Stoughton High School Explorers program. She was just 15 years old when he started having sex with her and 23 when she died. But Farwell was never treated as a real suspect, just as the people inside Brian Albert's house were never treated as suspects. He handed over his phone to Garino, who said that he couldn't retrieve 32,709 text messages between Birchmore and Farwell, much like he couldn't find Jennifer McCabe's Google searches because they were deleted too. But Cellbrite extracts deleted messages and Google searches as well. Luckily, the FBI ended up looking into the case and found all the deleted messages showing that Farwell was into violent rape fantasies. In August of 2024, he was arrested by the FBI for murder. If it was up to Garino, the Canton police, and Lieutenant John Fanning, another one of Proctor's bosses who was in charge of the Birchmore investigation, Farwell would still be walking the streets today. The Google search was not discovered until April of 2023 when Reed's forensic expert Richard Green found it. This is what ultimately caught my attention and led to widespread publicity that the case wasn't getting before. Like many, I assumed the DA's office was run by ethical people who wouldn't knowingly prosecute an innocent woman, especially when there was evidence that someone inside the house was responsible for John's murder. But I underestimated just how corrupt they were and just how determined they were to get Karen Reed. 2 days after my first article reached millions of people and outrage was spreading over the case, the DA's office announced they weren't dropping the...
How many views do you think this video has on it?
I don't know. How many?
Huh.
I don't know.
300? A million?
444,000.
If we're
So,
Price is writing it,
everybody wins.
I won.
Mm-hmm.
No, I lose.
399,000.
yeah, Mary B lost because she went over.
$1.
You lost. What's up, Lolene?
What are we guessing?
How many views are on frame 2? But we
It
already
had
gave
over
the answer.
500,000. I thought.
Nope.
440.
Price is
Over.
right it, Laleen. Sorry.
You're out.
I thought it
You're
had
not
over
as
500,000
Well,
like
yeah.
the first week. Maybe that was framed
Closest
one.
without going over. You lose.
How many does framed one have then? Because one of them had over 500,000.
I can't remember. It's not up. You can't see it.
We'll never
Or
know.
it's private. But we're gonna finish this one if it's the last thing we
charges and would be disputing the 227 Google search,
first time
which they
ever.
claimed never happened. But how could
Still
they
have
know this
2
on April
hours.
20th, 2023, if they hadn't hired their own expert yet?
Any comment on that? Why you Googled that 227?
She always looks so mean.
23, if they hadn't hired their own expert yet.
She looks like a villain.
They chomping on gum like a horse.
Also, I thought I had strong cheekbones, but this bitch.
That's from grinding, like making mad face so long.
Skeletor.
Skeletor, that's pretty good.
Been at Capel Grayskull too long.
Eyes as black as the night. That's why she got them glasses on.
Comment on that? Why you Googled that too?
Bag under her eyes are crazy.
She does have the Farrah Fawcett hair, though. Look at that light, fluffy hair, though. Look at it. Fresh off a blowout.
No, dude, it's just windy.
She don't have a job. She just hangs out all day doing her hair.
Yeah, she's a
a normal
social
mom.
I'm just saying her hair looks nice. She did.
But she
did a good
doesn't brush
job
her
on it.
teeth when she first wakes up.
What?
I said she does not brush her teeth when she first wakes up.
How do you know that?
Because she told us.
Well, that's
Oh
in
my
her
God.
bag.
FBI.
Disgusting.
Salesman Fed showed up and she didn't brush her teeth yet. She had to go
Disgusting.
Because
brush
her
and
kids at
make phone
school and
calls.
hadn't even brushed her teeth.
Yeah, don't you pay
Take it back.
attention, baby?
Take it back.
So
I don't
think-
remember the brushing the teeth comment.
I think 13 Kings has it right. She has cocaine lockjaw.
Oh my God! Back to the.
Totally.
You can't say that
Any
word.
comment, Mr. McCabe?
I've gotten yelled at for
Any
that.
comment?
Oh, really?
How can you show your face in court? Aren't you embarrassed? Aren't you
Haha,
ashamed?
maybe got yelled at.
What are you hiding? What did you do? Why did you delete all those, Mr. McCabe? Why did you delete all those phone calls? Why did you delete your Google search?
The Google search was not discovered until April of 2023 when Reed's forensic expert Richard Green found it. This is what ultimately caught my attention and led to widespread publicity that the case wasn't getting before. Like many, I assumed the DA's office was run by ethical people who wouldn't knowingly prosecute an innocent woman, especially when there was evidence that someone inside the house was responsible for John's murder. But I underestimated just how corrupt they were and just how determined they were to get Karen Reed. 2 days after my first article reached millions of people and outrage was spreading over the case, the DA's office announced they weren't dropping the charges and would be disputing the 227 Google search, which they claimed never happened. But how could they know this on April 20th, 2023, if they hadn't hired their own expert yet? Over the next 6 months, they went searching for experts who would tell them what they wanted to hear. Jennifer McCabe might not have.
Anytime somebody's named Big Earl, I would assume that they're going to live close to me. I mean, there's nobody in Massachusetts ever been called Big Earl. I'm going to take that and just put that out there.
401, is that a Rhode Island person?
Get it, big girl.
There's no Big Earls in Rhode Island.
That was in Starsky and Hutch when they rode to the biker bar. They were looking for Big Earl.
Well, people in the north don't know, but Big Earl and Little Earl.
It's Rhode Island.
Senior, junior.
Thank you.
They're from
Big
Rhode
Earl
Island.
and Little Earl.
Right on, big girl. I got you.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, Big Earl.
We have Big Earls too.
The whole class, Big Earl.
Did you see the Boise person's comment earlier about Tina Turner being the godmother to their nephews?
The real Tina Turner?
Said they had a
She's
lot
got
of stories.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Great stories.
Googled horse lung to dying cold
Love
at
that.
2:27
I love
a.m.
that.
2 months later, they found Jessica Hyde, whose report left open the possibility that the search may have happened at 2:27. Unsatisfied, they somehow came across a former Calgary, Alberta police officer named Ian Whiffen, who worked for Cellbrite and was promoting his new app called ArtX. Whiffen greenlights updates to Cellbrite software and was able to make sure that the 227 Google search did not come up on the updated version. He spent much of his testimony promoting his own app, which
444 in the chat. This video has it's only $3.99. Which one? It'd have been
That was
cool if it was $4.
Cellbrite did not endorse. Somehow, the Commonwealth knew on April 20th that 7 months later, they would have an expert from Canada who would reach this conclusion. Karen Reed was furious with her boyfriend for ignoring her calls and texts and leaving her alone to watch John's niece. She fell asleep sometime around 1:30 and woke up at 4:30. This time, her emotions changed from angry to worried. John would never not come home to his niece and nephew, and he would never ignore that many phone calls from Reed. He was drunk, the weather conditions were dangerous, and she began to become extremely worried that something horrible happened. She woke up John's niece and used her phone to call Jennifer McCabe at 4:53 a.m., who was awake and had never gone to sleep all night for some reason. By that point,
picture-
John's body hadn't been on the lawn for very long.
The picture of Jen McCabe that flashed, almost, it kind of looked like the Grinch.
I bet
Like,
it did.
if she just had like green skin, it would have been a perfect Grinch.
Make a good Grinch.
Insult the Grinch like that. That's rude, dude. I think it's a good analogy.
Thank you. Fuck you. I'm
Very
done.
believable. Very
If he
believable.
was even there at all. Jen needed to delay Karen from going to 34 Fairview Road. She told Karen that John never came inside that house, but volunteered to go out looking for him with Karen. She invited Karen to come to her house, and Karen is seen backing into John's Chevy Traverse in the driveway as she went out looking for him at 5:07 a.m., cracking her rear taillights in the process. Karen went towards the waterfall bar first, then drove back towards Jen McCabe's house. Her car is seen a mile and a half from McCabe's house at 5:18 a.m., but since she didn't know Canton very well and had no idea how to get to McCabe's house, she pulled over in the Canton Cemetery, and her phone records show that she called her parents and Googled McCabe's address. She ended up getting there at 5:35 and picked up Jen, who convinced her to go back to One Meadows Ave to search the house for John, as if he would jump out of the closet and yell, "Peekaboo!" This was all part of Jen's plan to delay Karen from returning to 34 Fairview Road. Jen and Karen were met at John's house by his friend Kerry Roberts, and after searching the house without taking their shoes off, something the Commonwealth would later claim was evidence that she murdered John, the three of them jumped into Kerry's car and headed towards Fairview Road. When they arrived there, Karen immediately saw John's body on the lawn where she had been idling her car, waiting for him to call her back and say everything was okay inside. She jumped out of the car, rushed over to John, who was lying with the cell phone underneath his body, and began to perform CPR. Meanwhile, Jennifer McCabe called 911 and told them,
34 Fairview Road, getting out. There's a man passed out in the snow.
So this is Jennifer McCabe. She says she's at 34 Fairview Road. And by the way, on the official police report, it actually says 32.
Can I stop you?
Every time I hear it, it's like, if you go from this to her court where she says, "My dear friend John," why could it? I just don't. A man passed
She's a
out.
liar.
Yeah, we agree with you. You know what? Also, I think we would never know this information. Well, we all know, right? Karen told Turtleboy this stuff, or at least enough for him to put together this like factual story. Like, it's not a story, but it's like the facts were put together so we could understand as outsiders.
Yeah,
She sent him the 911, didn't she?
The voicemail, of course. I mean, well, actually, no, she couldn't have. How could she have? It was John's phone.
already-
She didn't have it.
No, not. They already had it in Discovery.
Yeah,
But
plus
it
I'm just
wasn't
saying the
public
way
yet.
she talked about him right here. The way she talked about him, there's a man passed out in the snow versus when she was in court trying to make everybody believe they were great friends.
Well,
Number
that
one,
and it tells you
why were you
that-
texting him? Because y'all hadn't had no long history of texting each other.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, he's back to a man passed out in the snow, and then he's back to my dear friend, John.
Well, it also tells you that she did not go up to the body before the 911 call because she wouldn't have said he was passed out if she would have been up there by him and saw the blood and everything.
She was inside the SUV saying that. Yeah.
She
We
could
know
have at
you were
least
in the
been like, "Oh my
SUV because
god."
the phone was in the SUV, and she didn't know it was recording.
And you can hear the
Oh.
windshield wipers the whole time during the call.
How are you outside the vehicle and still being heard on the phone recording from inside the vehicle?
Yep.
No, ain't happening.
2 Fairview Road. She says 34 Fairview Road at least 3 times in this tape, and they still put 32 Fairview Road. They also don't put Brian Albert Sr.'s name on it. They just put B. Albert. He's the only one not listed out. But listen to what she says there. There's a man passed out in the snow. Now, keep in mind, who is man? No. She knows who this man is because Karen Reed has gotten out of the car already and said, "There's John." And they're literally looking for John, and they get out of the car when they see him. So she knows who it is. She said, "There's a man passed out in the snow." Now, keep in mind, this is a quote unquote man who she was just with 6 hours prior. She was just with him 6 hours prior. At the very least, according to her own story, they were together at the waterfall bar, and she invited him back to that house.
that just sounds like somebody who's very emotional. It doesn't sound like somebody who's faking it.
Somebody who's freaking out right now.
We would all know
Yeah,
that
that's
we've
someone in a
watched all
panic.
these other fucking cases. We've watched all this other bullshit, and we can tell when people are lying and when people are faking it.
Right. I pride
If
myself
she's
in that
faking it, boy,
knowledge.
she deserves an Oscar because it was good. Because right there and that right there, that is panic.
Yeah. No, and
100%
Danny makes a good
panic.
point. I trust Danny knowing whether or not someone's faking it because he always calls me out when I'm faking it.
Dean,
Always
you can
calls
see
me
how
out.
excited
Hardly
you
do
were
I
getting.
have to fake it with Danny, but every time I do, he calls me out and he gets it right every time.
That's important.
We go
that
for round two.
You should be
She
aware.
says Carrie 7 times. And I think she says
Ruined
Jen,
that
Jen,
one.
Jen here.
Good job.
I know I'm on the phone with Andrew. I know.
I know that sound. I know that. Listen to the fear in her voice. When Karen jumped out of the car, she was calling O'Keefe and left her phone in Carrie's car. A 4-minute voicemail was left on O'Keefe's machine that picked up McCabe's 911 call, which was immediately followed by McCabe whispering what sounded like no one's coming out to help. Jennifer McCabe phone records show that she called her sister Nicole Albert inside the house at 6. Jennifer McCabe owned McCabe's 911 call, which was immediately followed by McCabe whispering what sounded like no one's coming out to help.
Would that be absolutely fucking nuts? If
She
they
was-
could isolate that and see if that's what she said. I mean, they got all this.
They should be able
Oh,
to.
man.
That's what doesn't make sense to me.
Right. Like, why haven't they bothered? I'm sure
I mean, the
they
FBI is
could.
involved. Surely they have technology
Oh,
that
God.
can clean that up.
Easy.
But she was
Easy.
definitely calling them to be like, don't turn any lights on in the house. I called
And then
911.
deleted the calls that she made to her sister then and at 5:09 that morning.
Mm-hmm.
It's just never-ending.
Jennifer McCabe phone records show that she called her sister Nicole Albert inside the house at 6:07 and 6:08 and spoke to her for durations of 7 and 9 seconds. Not enough time to have a conversation, but enough time to say, stay inside, no one's coming out to help. The first call happened at the exact time that you can hear Jennifer whispering, no one's coming out to help. Nicole Albert was awake and Jen McCabe was telling her to stay inside the house. For some reason, Jennifer McCabe deleted those 2 answered phone calls to her sister. Both she and Nicole claim that the 2 answered phone calls were never answered and that she never deleted them, even though Jen's phone records show that she did. Disputing forensic data is a common theme with the McAlberts and the Commonwealth. Officer Saraf was the first cop who arrived on the scene. His report says nothing about a car accident or Karen Reed uttering incriminating statements. Yet at the grand jury several months later, his story evolved and he claimed that Reed said, "This is all my fault." Although the Canton police were the first to respond to the scene, they were ultimately conflicted off of the case because O'Keefe's body was discovered on Brian Albert's front lawn, and Brian Albert's brother, Kevin, is a detective in the Canton Police Department. Kevin Albert is drinking buddies with Proctor, who was later reprimanded when text messages revealed that the 2 of them had done some day drinking while investigating a cold case on Cape Cod, and Kevin Albert woke up hungover and realized that he left his gun and badge in Proctor's work vehicle. Oops. Paramedics arrived shortly after Officer Saraf, which included a woman named Katie McLaughlin, a close personal friend of Caitlin Albert. They graduated high school together, did cross country, and are photographed together in countless social situations up until a few months before O'Keefe's death, including trips to the beach, hot tubs, and a baby shower. Despite this, both she and Caitlin lied at the trial and said that they were just acquaintances who went to high school together. McLaughlin was one of nearly a dozen paramedics who responded to the scene, yet she was the only one police spoke with prior to Reed's arrest. On January 30th, Kevin Albert told Proctor that he wanted Proctor to interview McLaughlin and offered up Canton Police Department headquarters to do so, despite the fact that CPD was supposed to be conflicted off the case specifically because of Kevin Albert. McLaughlin told Proctor that she heard Reed say, "Hit him, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him." The scene. While Reed was standing next to Jennifer McCabe, Officer Saraf, and McLaughlin. While O'Keefe was already in the ambulance. That was her story. There's just a couple problems with that though. Officer Saraf.
Lolly, what part do we hear saying, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him?
Never.
That's what I thought.
And you
Because
never
you
hear
can hear
him
every other
say
fucking
that.
conversation. You got the camera in the cop car. You got the phone recordings. You got the 911 call, and still, out of all those, you can't hear her say the one thing they all say she said.
And in 227 pages of Jen's grand jury testimony, she never says it. She never says it until trial 1.
Oh, man.
Four other cops and 5 other first responders testified that Karen Reed never said, "I hit him." And police dash cam footage shows that when these 4 were standing together, John wasn't in the ambulance yet. Karen was arrested 2 days after McLaughlin told proctors she said, "I hit him." And according to firefighters Anthony Flamati and Timothy Nuttall, they talked about her case every day at the firehouse. Yet no other firefighters besides McLaughlin were ever questioned by Proctor until February 8th. By that time, the "I hit him" lie was all over the news and was the talk of the firehouse. And thus, Nuttall and Flamati both told Proctor that she said it. However, on cross-examination, it was revealed that neither of them was anywhere near Karen when McLaughlin claims that Karen uttered those words. Despite the
What were all the 227s that happened right there? They almost came back with a verdict at 227. There was
227 pages of Jen's grand jury testimony, and she took the stand and was sworn in at 227 on trial 2. Can y'all hear all those firecrackers?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, is everything okay?
Yeah, it's not gunshots this time. I'm good. I'll just start muting. I didn't know if y'all could hear all that.
Good. You don't have to run this
fact, there was a hysterical woman screaming on their front lawn, bright flashing fire and police lights illuminating the area, and an aggressive German shepherd that barked a lot and easily spooked inside the house. And phone data showing Nicole Albert spoke to Jennifer McCabe at 6:07. Brian and Nicole Albert claimed that they slept through the whole thing. Brian Albert, a trained first responder, did not come out of the house while a fellow Boston police officer was lying dead on his front lawn. The bedroom window was the closest to where O'Keefe's body was found, and they testified that Chloe was in the room with them. But Chloe, Brian, and Nicole did not wake up. However, their neighbors in what Matt McCabe would later call the Asian house did wake up and take these pictures showing how impossible it would be to sleep through it. Canton Police Sergeants Sean Good and Michael Lank and Lieutenant Paul Gallagher arrived after Seraph, all of whom spent their entire lives in Canton. Good graduated and was friends with Courtney Proctor and Julie Albert's sister Jillian Daniels. Lank was good friends with Chris Albert since high school, and 20 years prior, he was involved in a drunken bar fight in which he came to the rescue of Chris and assaulted and arrested 2 brothers who Chris had started trouble with. None of these 3 cops had any sort of curiosity or suspicion about how a dead cop ended up on Brian Albert's front lawn. John didn't seem dressed for the weather and was missing a shoe. If you or I invited a cop to our house and he ended up being found dead on our lawn with only 1 shoe on, the cops are definitely going to ask to search the house and get a warrant if you said no. But this was Brian Albert's house, a well-respected veteran.
And ain't nobody going nowhere and doing no thing until we get the warrant, if we're getting the warrant. So that doesn't mean we're going to shut the door and hang out in the yard while you hang out in the house.
That's what the LV cops said, that they would have done like a freeze on the house. Everyone would have to have left, and they would have stood at the door until the warrant came through.
I mean, you can put somebody in custody for so long, without having to explain it. So that's probably what would happen to
Oh,
them.
yeah, they could have detained them.
Hang out in the back of the cop car till the warrant came in, which would be about 10 minutes. So ooh, a lot of stuff they could have done to cover their ass later, to take little mysteries out of it,
Police officer. As Proctor's text messages would later show, they weren't going to hassle him, and they claimed there was no probable cause to search the house, despite the fact that none of them applied for a warrant, so a judge could determine that for them. For all they knew, John had been killed by someone who also killed the people inside the house. Yet they allowed Jennifer McCabe to go into the house by herself at 6:34 a.m., where she claims she woke up a sleeping Brian and Nicole. Jennifer McCabe was the quarterback of the entire cover-up. She didn't cause John's injuries, but she was essential for making sure that those who did were never held responsible. Jen made sure to speak with every police officer that she could in order to push the narrative that Karen was responsible for John's being on the lawn. Dashcam footage shows Jen turning her back as John's body was being wheeled into the ambulance. She was too busy talking to Officer Surratt and laying the groundwork for framing Karen Reed. Jen's phone records show that she was talking to Kerry Roberts all day on January 29th, making sure that Kerry, a potential loose end, believed that Karen had killed John. She spoke to John's mother and made her feel the same way. She hid the fact that her cell phone data shows that on January 30th, she went to Sergeant Lank's house for an hour. She never disclosed this, but when confronted with the information at trial, she said that she had just gone there to talk to Lank's wife. Jen continued to show up for Karen Reed's hearings wearing a Justice for JJ button.
How can you wear those buttons when you covered up his murder?
And comforted the grieving family in court. What a psychopath. Soon after that, the sun came out and Lieutenant Gallagher began to search the grassy area where O'Keefe's body was found. There was less than 3 inches of snow on the ground at that time, so he used a leaf blower to clear off the light dusting and search for clues. He found transparent pieces of what appeared to be cocktail glass, but what he didn't find was 47 pieces of bright red taillights, some as big as a dinner plate, that Michael Proctor and the state police would find over the course of the next 3 weeks. suspects. The search was conducted on video too. Do you see any red taillight here? Transparent cocktail glass is much harder to see than bright red taillight on bright white snow. This cannot be emphasized enough. There was no taillight anywhere near John's body at 7 a.m., nor was there a missing shoe. Around this time, Karen Reed made statements that she was suicidal and she was sectioned for the next 4 to 5 hours. During this time, the McAlberts were allowed to talk together away from police and get their story straight. At 9 a.m., McCabe called Lank on his cell phone to tell him that she suddenly remembered Karen saying, "Could I have hit him?" Her story later evolved at trial to, "Did I hit him?" But she accused Lank of misquoting her in the original report. Police knew that protecting the crime scene was essential, especially since it was snowing and evidence could easily get buried. But the Canton police just left the crime scene completely abandoned the entire day. No crime scene tape put up, no cops to watch over the area and make sure the scene wasn't tampered with.
Crime scene was completely open.
Yes.
Unsecured.
Yes.
And Brian Albert didn't offer his house up as a command center for officers to come out of the cold. Blood droplets found at the scene were put in red Solo cups.
Just any Solo cups or the Solo cups that you took back to the station from 34 Fairview?
Were acquired from the deputy police chief, Tom Keller, who lived across the street.
It looks like an evidence bag. It just doesn't say Canton Police on it. It says Stop and Shop, but it does look like.
It says Stop and Shop on it.
It says Stop and Shop on it.
It doesn't. The only difference is, number one, it's not an evidence bag, so we don't know where the fuck it came from and how many people have toted groceries in it. You dimwit.
How many people have touched it?
Yeah.
How much fucking germs are on it? You know, no
They
big
said in
deal.
trial one,
Yeah.
like with their whole chest, they said that they're like, it's
Yeah,
no
the
big
ones
deal.
that say Canton Police on it, those are sterile, kind of, because they were in a pack. Holy fucking retard!
You can
And
seal them
sealed
too.
with evidence tape with the initials
Sealed.
on it.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
You know, all sorts of things that cost about $30. These motherfuckers make $300,000 a year. They can't afford $200 worth of bags and tape.
No, they had them a mile
Great
away
brother.
and chose not to drive the mile to get the proper specimen collections.
They're like, we're too busy with these leaf blowers. We can't go get
Yeah.
those.
But
Yeah,
don't worry, I
they
have
drove
Stop
to
and
somebody's
Shop
house to get
bags
the
and
leaf
red
blower.
Solo cups.
Yeah, they drove to go get the leaf blower because that was a great idea.
And there was like an inch of snow, so
Oh,
it was
how did they
actively
get there and back?
It wasn't even actively snowing in that video with the leaf blower. There's 3 inches of snow and no snow coming down. They could have put
Right.
up a tent. They could have put up heaters like right around the scene.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't
That's
use
not
this
how
case
it
for
is.
anything other than college students learning about how not to investigate a murder,
Mhm.
this is the how not to. Do not do this.
Like an evidence bag.
Walk
It's
the
the same
fucking
thing.
mile to
It
get.
should be noted that Kelleher had a ring camera pointed directly at the area where Commonwealth alleges that John was hit by a car. Michael Proctor never even asked to look at the ring camera footage.
Because again, this is astounding. Look how close that is. It's right there.
I can even put my camera up there.
Yeah. Like that's the view it would have gotten.
Meanwhile, Proctor and his partner Yuri Buchanan didn't even go to 34 Fairview Road that day to investigate the scene. At 11:30, they decided it was finally time to interview some witnesses. But instead of separating them and recording their interviews at a police station, which is what detectives always
That is a valid question. Over the Christmas holidays, how much lobster has Sweet Woman had?
Yeah, that is a good
Not
question.
that much.
Wait, where was she when that shipment was stolen that Dean was telling me about?
Yeah, $400,000 worth of lobster was stolen the other day on its way to Iowa and Minnesota. And it was stolen
From Massachusetts, right?
just a few miles away from Sweet Woman.
Yeah, it was very
Wow,
close.
it was a great lobster heist.
Oh, we better get back to the.
They decided to interview just 4
I gotta
witnesses:
go.
Jennifer McCabe, Matt
Or
McCabe,
Lobster
Nicole
family.
Albert, and Brian Albert at the McCabe's house. After being together all morning getting their story straight, the 4 of them drove across town in the middle of a blizzard where they were interviewed by Proctor and Buchanan. At no point was anyone in the house treated as a potential suspect who had to be ruled out. Their story was a simple one and was blindly taken as gospel by police. John O'Keefe never came in the house. But this story strained credulity because there's no possible way that none of them would hear or see a 3-ton vehicle striking a man, and that none of them would see his body laying on the lawn when they left. The four McAlberts all told the same story. They went out to the bar, things seemed fine. Karen and John pulled up outside. He never came in. She left, and in the morning, when Jen and Karen went out looking for him, Karen had a cracked taillight and said, could I have hit him upon finding his body? That was it. That was all Michael Proctor needed to hear to determine that Karen Reed was the killer. He didn't speak to anyone else, but he made up his mind by 12:30 p.m. By that time, no taillight pieces have been found. No one saw a body on the lawn. No surveillance video was pulled, and none of the first responders were interviewed. Nonetheless, Proctor and Buchanan had determined that Karen Reed was guilty, so they got in their car and drove to her parents' house in Dighton to seize her phone and car, which he knew was the murder weapon, based solely on what Jennifer McCabe had told him that Karen Reed had said. A cover-up is easier to cover up when you involve less people. It's not what the police did do during the investigation they made that made it a cover-up. It's what they intentionally didn't do. Proctor didn't interview Julie Nagel, Caitlin Albert, her boyfriend Tristan Morris, Brian Albert Jr., or any of the people who were admittedly at the house that night. Sarah Levinson was in the house that night, and her name was kept hidden from the defense for almost a year. Julie Nagel wasn't interviewed until 9 months after O'Keefe's death, and only after the defense filed a motion in which they pointed out how impossible it would be for no one to have seen a body on the lawn. Conveniently, for the first time at her interview, Julie Nagel told Proctor that she saw a dark, shadowy figure on the front lawn. She didn't say it was a body because she would have had to call police if she did, but calling it a dark, shadowy figure was her way of suggesting that something might have been there without implicating herself. Conveniently, at trial, Julie Nagel's story also evolved, this time claiming that the dark, shadowy figure was actually a 5 to 6 foot black blob. She testified that she realized the next day that the black blob was John O'Keefe, but didn't come forward to speak with police about it. Then there's Colin Albert. Despite admittedly being at Brian Albert's house that night, Colin wasn't interviewed by police until 18 months after John's death, and only in regards to him being a victim of alleged witness intimidation. Conveniently, on the day Karen Reed was arrested, Colin's mother, Julie Albert, sent Proctor's sister, Courtney, a text message offering a thank you gift to Proctor for not interviewing Colin. Instead of telling her that this was unethical, Proctor told her to give the gift to his wife, Elizabeth, instead. Colin Albert never had to hand over his phone or answer any questions from police. His existence at the house was hidden, despite the fact that Steve Scanlon somehow knew he was there that night. Colin claimed that he was home in bed by 12:30, but yet at 12:33, minutes after Reed left 34 Fairview and John O'Keefe's phone moved for the last time, Colin called a friend named Erin Beatty. She didn't answer, as kids at that age almost never call each other, and when she contacted him the next day, he goes, never mind. For telling people this story, Erin Beatty and her father, Tom Beatty, were harassed and ostracized by adults in the Canton community. Jennifer McCabe and her friend Jill Thomas reportedly told 17-year-old Erin Beatty to, quote, put a dick in your mouth instead of talking so much. Chris Albert confronted Tom Beatty.
Oh, no, you want to say something, Dean? So I stopped it for you.
I didn't want to say anything. I wanted to put a dick in my mouth. I was just taking that advice to heart.
Danny's or just any dick?
That's so awesome.
Probably just Andy.
And tried to get him to say, Colin, never talking so much. Chris Albert told Erin Beatty to, quote, put a dick in your mouth instead of talking so much. Chris Albert told Erin Beatty to, quote, put a dick in your mouth instead of talking so much. Chris Albert, Erin Beatty to, quote, put a dick in your mouth instead of talking so much. Chris Albert confronted Tom Beatty and tried to get him to say that Colin never called Erin that night. They were going out of their way to pressure the Beatty family to lie and cover for Colin. Since Colin didn't speak with police and his parents did the speaking for him, an alibi for Colin was finally presented at trial, claiming that he was picked up by Jennifer McCabe's daughter, Allie, at 12:10. As evidence, the Commonwealth submitted an unverified screenshot of a text message with the name Colin at the top. No cell break report, just a screenshot that Chris Albert gave prosecutor Adam Lally. At 12:10, Allie tells what she claims is Colin, I'm here, but it doesn't say where here is. For all we know, she could have been picking up Colin to drive him to 34 Fairview, which would make sense because the party wasn't really starting until everyone else got back from the bar. Allie testified.
All right, if we can get one more Scott, if Scott McGinnis will bring his ass on in here, everybody mentally summons Scott McGinnis so we can have a Scott hat trick.
testified that she was driving people around all night and that Colin Albert was her last pickup at 12:10. She said she was home in bed by 12:30, but there was just one problem with that. Her Life 360 data shows that she was driving around till 1:30. But just like all the phone calls and Google searches in this case, the Commonwealth's response to this was that it was just a mistake. If we're to believe Colin's story, it would mean that a 17-year-old who likes to drink and party asked Allie McCabe for a ride to 34 Fairview Road to wish his much older cousin a happy birthday in person, then had her pick him up 90 minutes later.
Did you see the article where Colin and Brian Jr. were at a bar recently and they had the fight and the cops got called and all that? That was on X.
Oh yeah, in Dorchester.
Yeah,
That's something I knew about. How do you not know about it, Danny?
I'll have to send it to you so you can read it because there's some pictures and everything.
Oh, we can read that on here, can't we? I think so.
Yeah.
Because Danny doesn't look at the Discord. She just spams it.
Yeah, he's just like, here's stupid memes, guys.
How many people are in your Discord, MJ?
A lot of people, actually.
I was just wondering how many was in your Discord. I'm just kidding. You can have my Discord. I love the Discord as long as I can go meme war every now and then. And just, kick the shit out of Gingy and a good meme war. Oh, magnificent.
In order to get him back home as soon as his fun uncle and his friends showed up to party. Right. Meanwhile, Chris Albert initially testified that he left the Waterfall Bar and was home at between 12:05 and 12:10. He said that Colin got home 15 to 20 minutes later and came upstairs to say goodnight to his parents. There was a problem with that story, though. Chris is seen on surveillance video at the Waterfall Bar at 12:13, and it would take him at least 7 to 8 minutes for him to walk home from there. By his own admittance, his son Colin got home much closer to 12:45, which meanwhile, Chris Albert initially testified that he left the Waterfall Bar and was home at between 12:05 and 12:10. He said that Colin got home 15 to 20 minutes later and came upstairs to say goodnight to his parents. There was a problem with that story, though. Chris is seen on surveillance video at the Waterfall Bar at 12:13, and it would take him at least 7 to 8 minutes for him to walk home from there. By his own admittance, his son Colin got home much closer to 12:45, which would mean that he was still at Brian Albert's house when John O'Keefe arrived. This is why the defense is so suspicious of Colin Albert. The McAlberts in the Commonwealth are insistent that Colin wasn't there when John O'Keefe was allegedly killed. But why would it matter if he was inside and John O'Keefe was killed outside by Karen Reed? Why did he call Erin Beatty, a girl he wasn't dating, out of the blue at 12:33? Why did his family try to silence the Beattys? Why did his mother offer Proctor a thank you gift? And why were his knuckles so cut up in a picture a few weeks later? Colin had an explanation for that too, which illustrated just how easily he could lie with a straight face.
And I was walking up the driveway and I slipped down the driveway and I tried to catch myself, but I had something in my left hand. So I had tried to brace myself with my right hand and I ended up sliding a little bit down the driveway.
Right. Obviously, that was a lie, which begs the question, if he didn't do anything wrong, why did he have to lie? Colin also testified he'd never been in a fight before. Shortly after that, the internet found 3 videos of him fighting, proving that he lied about that too. Why lie if you have nothing to hide?
You're a bitch, bro. Fuck you. Yeah, fuck you, you pussy. Yeah. Clean cold, boy. You be knocked out. KO. Bang, bang.
These are questions an investigator looking for the truth could have grilled him on. Colin was a hothead and previously had issues with O'Keefe. But when the lead investigator is Michael Proctor, whose mother describes Colin's family as a second family, you don't have to worry about being questioned by police. But perhaps the most obvious witness that Proctor went out of his way not to speak to was Brian Lucky Loughran. Proctor interviewed DPW Director Michael Trotta and claimed that Trotta told him that the Canton DPW does not plow Fairview Road. This was an outright lie. I tracked down Mr. Trotta and asked him myself.
For any reason that Lucky Loughran, Brian Loughran, would have been plowing that road at 2:30 in the morning?
We generally have 2 people on every route. So there's usually a town plow with a contract plow.
After that, I tracked down Lucky, who was happy to tell me what he witnessed that morning. Lucky said that he did first plow Brian Albert's house at 2:30 and didn't see a body on the lawn. When I asked him if he would have seen a body if a body was there, he was insistent that he would because bright lights and constantly looking on the yards and scanning sidewalks in case animals ran into the road. Lucky told me that when he tried to do another plow of Fairview Road an hour later, he couldn't because there was a Ford Edge parked in the exact spot where John O'Keefe's body would be discovered 3 hours later. At least 3 members of the Albert family, Kevin, Brian, and Colin, owned a Ford Edge at the time. If there was nobody on the lawn at 2:30, which Lucky Loughran and 7 other witnesses said there was not, then Karen Reed couldn't have struck him at 12:30. then a Ford Edge appeared, then there was a body. You do the math. The fact that the state police didn't put out an all points bulletin looking for that Ford Edge is all the evidence you.
Yeah, because they didn't know anything about the plow trucks plowing the fucking road and what time they plowed it and if they plowed it. They didn't give a shit. They never made mention of it until Teebs went and tried to interview Lucky. And then what happened, Lawlene? They fucking ganged up on Lucky and went and interrogated the shit out of him.
Lolene, you're muted.
Said the FBI had already contacted Lucky, and they found out about that.
Yep.
When TB interviewed him, so they wanted to know what he told the FBI.
Yeah, because they still had no clue what he could have told them.
Right. Because they did.
He's fucking plowing the street. He could have. Between this and Sandra Birchmore, if any of the cops that are on the force are still there, it's instant fucking corruption. They should just fire
There are
everybody.
some good ones.
Well, they say that, but where are they?
I know them.
What are they doing while these dudes are just doing horrible investigations and hanging out
And
with
why
kids?
don't they speak up against it? I couldn't stay silent.
Most cops I know wouldn't put up with it. I'm not saying there aren't any good ones. There obviously are, but
So I can tell you, Stoughton's police force is severely divided. Not as much anymore because so many people retired or quietly quit, and so it's a ton of new, younger people. But it was insanely divided. So if they were on the other side, like away from the Farwells or away from Divine, they weren't bothered by what they like stayed as far away from them as possible, so they wouldn't know what was going on.
Wait, JFK is still talking about us?
he started back on Glare last night, so I guess he started on us too. I would too because I've got more people than you do.
Oh, he's still thinking
Yeah.
about us? That's so nice.
We got more going on. Haha.
You used to punch down, now you're punching up. Crazy.
Yeah.
And I still don't care.
I hate when that happens.
I still don't care.
Don't be an asshole.
That's chatting the tubes in here.
Did you see the clips I sent?
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. How did we haven't said anything about anybody.
Now we're being cool.
What did he say about us?
I don't know. Haven't
I
watched
made
any
the
of the
comment
clips.
about Jeff Williams. I said I think he just goes anywhere that doesn't like JFK. That's the only thing I know of.
I love Jeff Williams.
No, you
I still
don't.
love him.
No
He's still a
way.
moron.
You can't love Jeff Williams.
So he's watching the show then.
Oh,
Who,
yes,
Jeff?
100%.
Or JFK?
JFK.
JFK.
Because we were
Supposedly-
talking about Jeff
Our
Williams, right?
friends in
Well,
Discord are saying
supposedly him
stuff.
and James are in a beef too. So they got
Oh
they got a little beef going all the way every way around, I think. And supposedly Kev had a new haircut or something. I don't know.
He looks like he lost weight.
Under his hat?
Yeah, he does.
No, he doesn't. You guys are
Wait,
crazy.
who looks like they lost weight?
Heavy Kev.
Heavy Kev?
You're making stuff up.
Yeah, you're making stuff.
No, I
burned
said
His
that,
head
but
looks
maybe
half the
just-
size.
Yeah, maybe just because he had like a beanie on instead of a
And he wasn't wearing
Yeah.
glasses?
Maybe he
doing
just
all
can't
that-
afford to eat.
Oasis
He's
Cat
doing
doesn't
all
know
that
who Jeff Williams is.
cardio. He's doing all that cardio dancing. He's losing weight.
You'll
Oh,
find
yeah,
out
maybe.
Oasis Cat.
Gingy, I agree with Gingy.
Jeff
Oasis
Williams
Cat-
used to troll JFK's chat about Karen being guilty.
No, he trolled every Karen
Well,
Reed.
Yeah.
I
He
know,
thinks
but
Karen's
JFK
guilty.
was the one
He
that
thinks Karen is guilty, but it turns out he wasn't a troll. Now he hangs out because there's the trial's over. So he doesn't care.
Yeah, he hangs out. He's cool.
He's looking for pals.
He is
He's
cool,
lonely.
man. I'm doing this by request because
Get it?
because it's been stuck in my head and we need a little break. Shake off all this. It's just can't be a conspiracy. There's so many fucking things going on, but here we go with this. You ain't heard this, you're gonna love it.
Yeah.
in all your strange ways. Jathan, oh Jathan, why'd you have to block my view? It's hard to catch up, feeling blue, like overripe tomato stew. You lived your life online like a secret agent on a scheme, but the only thing you brought was the sad bacon themed dream. You throw a threat like it's an art, acting hard while you fall apart. Turn the internet into a stage where you spammed everyone in rage, but still I miss the amusing oddness of your quirky little spam. Oh, how I wish to share a plate, but I'm left here with just a ham. Jathan, come back, we were crispy and stacked. Tomato hard and bacon laughs, it's breaking me in fact. Jathan, come back, I miss every whack from the joys of your weirdness, like bacon, lettuce trap. Drinking PISS, claiming it's elite. You made it slick, but it's just kind of bittersweet. Licking Christmas balls, oh what a show. Slide down that slippery slope where all your antics flow. Creepy texts and threads you claim to find, always posting nonsense. You're the strange of our time, and all the morons call you out, but somehow you twisted it, turned it around without a doubt. Underneath your bacon facade, hiding behind those absurd charades, your odd behavior brought us close, though sometimes it was like a roast. I tried to catch up, couldn't grab this feeling of friendship based on all your barely real dealing. Jathan, come back, we were crispy and stacked. Tomato hard and bacon laughs, it's breaking me in fact. Jathan, come back, I miss every whack from the joys of your weirdness, like bacon, lettuce trap.
Hell yeah, I had to get that Jathan out of my system. Now, back to this.
You need to know that this was a cover-up. Remember, this cover-up wasn't so much what the cops did to cover it up, it was what they chose not to do. Choosing not to interview Lucky Loughran was deliberate. They knew that if they spoke to him, he was going to say there wasn't a body on the front lawn. And logically, they'd have to pursue whoever was driving the Ford Edge, since they were allegedly right next to a dead cop on the lawn. Michael Proctor didn't want to pursue any leads that didn't point to Karen Read. The state police finally decided to interview Lucky Loughran 18 months after the death of John O'Keefe, and 2 days after I published this bombshell interview with him. But Proctor and Buchanan weren't trying to learn more about the Ford Edge. They were trying to discredit his testimony and get him to say that I illegally wiretapped Lucky. At trial, Brian Tully testified that he didn't investigate the Ford Edge because Loughran couldn't possibly be sure it was a Ford Edge. But it had 4 wheels and an engine, and whoever was driving it was supposedly parked next to a dead body that police think was run over by a car. So wouldn't you want to find out who that person was and speak with them? Nah. Better just pin it on Karen Read. Rather than question any of these witnesses, Proctor and Buchanan drove to Dighton to seize Karen Read's car, which they hadn't seen yet, because they were certain that it was a murder weapon. No taillight had been discovered at the scene yet. At 2:30, they called and asked Dighton police for a tow. When they arrived an hour or so later, they didn't take a picture of Karen Read's car to show the condition of the taillight before it had been towed, according to Michael Proctor's report. And as with all the witnesses, they didn't record any of their interviews with Karen. Read's car was towed at 5:30 p.m. This time is critical because the state police began searching the area where John O'Keefe's body was discovered at 5:45, found 4 pieces of taillight. If the car was towed at 5:30, then there was no way it could get from Dighton to Canton in a blizzard, normally a 40-minute drive, in time to plant taillight. But as it turned out, Michael Proctor was lying about what time he towed the car. Video surveillance from the Reed's house shows the car being towed at 4:12, and a Dayton police report confirmed this. This meant that Proctor was unaccounted for with Reed's car for 78 minutes and would have more than enough time to get the vehicle to Canton and plant taillight before the state police search at 5:45. Nevertheless, in pretrial hearings, the Commonwealth continued to lie about what time the car was towed. Adam Lally said in court filings that Bill Reed's ring video didn't reset for daylight savings, but the sun set that day at 4:56, and there was still sunlight in the video at 4:12. Eventually, after realizing that they couldn't lie their way out of this one, the Commonwealth called it a scrivener's error, even though the digits 412 are nowhere near 530 on a keyboard. The state police CERT team, led by Lieutenant O'Hara, began arriving at 34 Fairview Road at 4:51 to search the area where John's body was discovered. By that point, Proctor's commanding officer, Lieutenant Brian Tully, determined that O'Keefe was hit by a car and told O'Hara that they were looking for pieces of taillight. The scene was unsecured the entire day, and more than 18 inches of snow had fallen since the Canton police searched the area and didn't find a single piece of taillight. Internal messages show that the CERT team was ready to start digging at 5:30, but that Lieutenant Tully did not give them the green light. Time was of the essence, and snow was continuing to fall. What was Tully waiting for? Simple. They needed to wait for Karen Reed's car to arrive in Canton first. They could have brought the vehicle to any state police barracks close to Dayton, including Middleborough or Foxborough. Yet they insisted on bringing the car to the Canton Police Department less than 2 miles away from Brian Albert's house, where Kevin Albert was working. The car is seen on video, which was shown for the first time in Reed's first trial, entering the Canton Police Sallyport garage at 5:36 p.m. Proctor could be seen hanging around what appears to be the left rear taillight, which was not broken. In other words, there was no evidence Proctor went anywhere near Reed's broken right rear taillight, except there's just one problem. The video shown in court was intentionally inverted. What appeared to be left was actually right, and Proctor was hanging out there for a while.
In the video, the word police appears backwards on another vehicle parked in the garage. So does the number 4 on one of the garage's overhead doors. Defense attorney Alan Jackson believes it was no accident.
The timestamp across the bottom.
But their excuse was it shows an accurate depiction of what happened in the Sallyport. Except everything is backwards. So that's not an accurate depiction of what's going on in the fucking room.
It's the same thing. It's just the complete opposite.
All right, just use your imagination. You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of looking at left.
Everybody knows this is the driver's side.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, like you're an idiot if you don't think that.
It's just weird.
Is not inverted, and there appears to be somebody standing near it.
Who's the guy in the watch cap, in the winter cap, back there by that right rear tail light the entire time by himself? That's Proctor.
The Commonwealth was trying to deceive the jury. The cover-up was happening right in front of millions of people. For 20 seconds at 5:37, the video cuts out. And when it begins again, you could see another unknown man who was not in the video before, leaving the area where Proctor was standing by the right rear taillight. Who was this man? And did he have pieces of taillight with him when he left? Was it Kevin Albert or Brian Higgins' close friend, Chief Ken Berkowitz? The Commonwealth still can't explain who that was. But coincidentally, 5 minutes later, after that, Lieutenant Tully gave the CERT team the go-ahead to begin their search. Lieutenant O'Hara testified that he had no idea who several members of the CERT team were, but said that he believed they were Canton police. Minutes after they began searching, someone, they never said who, found a piece of red taillight under 18 inches of snow. This was the exact same area Lieutenant Gallagher searched on video during the daylight with the leaf blower on video and did not find any taillight. Yet the CERT team was able to find it under all that snow with minimal effort in the dark 10 minutes after Reed's car arrived at Canton Police. Whoever this officer who found the taillight was never testified at trial. They also found John's missing size 12 shoe that the Canton Police completely missed during their search. So either the Canton Police are blind and incompetent, or the taillight and the shoe were planted. Shortly after that, someone on the CERT team found 3 more pieces of taillight. Once again, we don't know who, but Brian Tully had seen enough. And now that he had some physical evidence linking Reed to the crime scene, he shut down the search. O'Hara offered to come back the next day in the daylight to search some more, but Tully told him he was all set. Instead, the state police were instructed to drive by on their way to work to see if any taillight presented itself. And wouldn't you know it, it did. Over the course of the next 3 weeks, Chief Berkowitz, Sergeant Buchanan, and Proctor found a total of 47 pieces of red taillight. The pieces actually became bigger as time went by, leading to this dinner-sized plate discovered by Proctor on February 18th. You got that? Canton Police, the CERT team, and everyone who went to the house for 3 weeks didn't see that piece of taillight just a few feet from the curb. Of course, Proctor didn't take any pictures of any of this because documenting isn't really his thing. After all, it's just the murder of a cop. Who cares about completely incorrect police reports? No chain of custody and a complete lack of documentation. You would think after the second or third time the taillight presented itself that the state police would have preserved the crime scene, but not these Keystone cops. They just kept doing their drive-bys until they could put the entire taillight together like a jigsaw puzzle. Here's the problem though. Reed's taillight did not look like this when she pulled out of John's driveway at 507 seconds after backing into his car. As you can see, the taillight was cracked, but not completely broken. Don't take my word for it. Listen to Dayton Police Sergeant Nicholas Barrows, who observed the condition of the taillight at the Reed house and made sure to point out,
I saw that there was some damage to the right rear taillight. To my best ability and recollection, that taillight was not completely damaged. It was cracked and a piece was missing, but not completely damaged.
Perhaps the biggest obstacle for the Commonwealth was explaining John O'Keefe's injuries. In the words of John's brother, Paul O'Keefe, John looked like he had gone 5 rounds with Mike Tyson. People who get backed into cars have bruises and broken bones, but not John O'Keefe. Instead, John had 2 black eyes, a 3-inch laceration in the back of the head that looks like he was hit by a blunt object, and parallel linear cuts exclusively on his right arm. And did I mention that Brian Albert owned an aggressive German Shepherd named Chloe with a documented history of biting strangers and dogs? They tried to hide this from the court by opposing a defense motion for Canton Animal Control records and having Brian Albert's attorney, Greg Henning, lie in open court by claiming that Chloe never bit a human being. Animal Control records show that Chloe sent at least 2 people to the ER. According to Dr. Marie Russell, who has done thousands of autopsies, those are dog bites on John's arm. And guess what? The 6-year-old family dog was suddenly rehomed a few months after John's murder. They claim that Chloe is somewhere in Vermont, but won't say where. Oh, and they sold the house and they ripped up the basement floor too, but there's nothing suspicious about that. The Commonwealth originally claimed that Karen Reed struck John O'Keefe while doing a 3-point turn, and they stuck to this theory for the first 18 months after Reed's arrest. But after a turtle rider pointed out that it would have meant that the wrong taillight was broken, they quickly abandoned that theory.
Get it?
So how did John get those cuts on his arm? Surely the grass didn't do that. And if he had gotten run over, then his body would be covered in bruises and broken bones. The jury needed an explanation from an expert, and that's where this guy came in. Trooper Joseph Paul is Norfolk County's crash reconstruction expert, and he's got an associate's degree in administration to prove it. For the first time at trial, the Commonwealth explained that John was actually standing in the middle of a blizzard with his arm extended into the street. He had just gotten into a huge fight with Karen, and even though everyone was out that night, they seemed happy together. According to Trooper Paul, Karen Reed, who was parked in front of the neighbor's house for some reason, began gunning it in reverse, hitting 24 miles an hour in just 62 feet. She sideswiped John O'Keefe, and the taillight hit John exclusively in the arm that was hanging out over the road for some reason. This caused the taillight to shatter into 47 pieces, all of which the Canton Police Department couldn't find in broad daylight. After striking John's arm, it caused him to then catapult 30 feet and do a pirouette in midair before hitting his head on the curb and then bouncing another 10 feet onto the grass, where he finally came to his final resting place on top of his phone. How did his phone end up underneath him, you ask? Trooper Paul had an answer for that too.
What's your theory? How that cell phone ended up flying?
It just did.
30 feet.
It just did.
Just did.
It just did.
Spoke to him.
Classic
So we're
moment.
relying on you to tell us what happened. And you're just
Natural
like,
reconstructionists would use the weight of the phone, the speed of the car, and come up with a formula and shown exactly where the phone would have landed.
but he said follow the linear path. And I don't know. I wasn't there, and it just did.
But then AJ pointed out some of the pieces were not in the path that he initially thought, and he said it didn't change his perspective at all.
And somehow, as he landed, tucked that cell phone underneath his body to land it on top.
Lord of mercy.
It just did. That's the evidence at the scene. I didn't put the evidence there.
Just did.
Well, you didn't.
It just did.
You didn't.
Okay. And how did he get the laceration in the back of his head? Simple. The grass did it. You see, it was cold out that day. And when it gets cold, the ground turns into a blunt object that causes a cut like this, which looks like Professor Plum hit you with a lead pipe. I decided to test this theory out to see if it was even possible to accelerate to 24 miles an hour and 62 feet. This is 62 feet. We're going to mark it off right here.
This is where I found TB for the first time.
Boom. All right. And that's where 62 feet is. See my car up there?
This is where microdots almost bit the dust too.
See where the chalk mark is on the ground? That's 62 feet. So look at, you mark 62 feet off, right? Mm-hmm. So that's where Karen Reed started. That's where the back of her car started, okay? And you see the line down there, the other line, that's where he got hit. Okay, so I mean, that's 62 feet. So this dude just stood here and is like, yeah, come hit me. Come hit me. Like, look at, by the way, look how far away the car is. You see somebody coming at you in reverse like that? That's plenty of time to get away, right? Oh, yeah. Just jump out of the way.
We're going to see that happen right now.
The first time I hit 14 miles per hour and ended up driving over the curb because the road curves right where his body was found.
No, Microdots was trying to stay to get the footage.
I know, but he still got out of the way. Olay!
You're on the curb. Yeah, you're on the grass. And then I got up to 17 miles an hour, and finally, when I put the pedal to the metal, I was able to hit 19.
I don't think
see
he
how
got
much
enough
further out the
horsepower.
road he is there?
You're going to have some horsepower.
When he felt free to try to go faster because he wasn't trying to ride the curb the way that Karen would have had to.
Yeah. She would have had to, and he'd have had to been just standing there like, she's going to stop. And then just, no, sorry. That's harder to put together than the other story. And then because the whole time this is happening, Jim McCabe's looking out the fucking window. Baby Nagel's looking out the window. Cars are coming up behind them.
At the exact time the Commonwealth is saying that she hit him now, Jen is literally texting, looking out the window.
Waiting for their cocaine.
And you notice how they had no response for when Arca said there's no way that physics would allow the taillight shards to cut the arm in motion, like the arm would be ahead of the shards the whole time he's in motion. They had nothing to come back and ask about that.
No, because they don't want to do the math. It just did.
It just did.
Yeah.
So I hit 19 miles an hour there. That was pretty, that felt fast as shit.
What you got, sweet woman?
Can we take a moment to say hi to my friend Karen? She is watching for the first time.
Hi, Karen. Welcome.
Hi, Karen. Welcome to the channel.
Karen.
She in the chat or just
she's in the chat.
Well, you need to get in the chat, man. Get up in there. Get dirty.
Is all of your family watching now too?
Also, Cyber Chick Boston's here. We can drop her link in the chat too. If you're not subbed, go get subscribed. She's doing good stuff for you ladies. Yeah. She's trying to teach you ladies how not to give your phone number out on your YouTube channel.
Right?
Jess.
Yeah.
Stranger danger.
And let me tell you, it was scary. Try going that fast in reverse, and you'll see that it feels like a roller coaster. It's not natural. There's no possible way you can accidentally run into someone at that speed. Keep in mind, I did this in perfect conditions with a Lexus that had a comparable engine to Reed's car. I couldn't come close to 24 miles an hour, and I wasn't a good enough driver to avoid the curb. But the Commonwealth would have you believe that Karen Reed transformed into a NASCAR driver, hitting 24 miles an hour in 62 feet, cutting the wheel just in time to intentionally hit her target in the arm. Oh yeah, and no one inside the house saw or heard it happen. And they call us conspiracy theorists. You don't have to be a doctor to realize that this was complete bullshit. But luckily, the defense had not one, but two doctors who testified as to the scientific reasoning why John O'Keefe wasn't hit by a car. Dr. Daniel Wolf and Dr. Andrew Rentschler are crash reconstruction experts who work for a company called ARCA. They have contracts with the Department of Defense and the NHL and were hired by someone, the defense wasn't allowed to say who, at trial, to run tests in order to see if John O'Keefe's injuries could have come from a motor vehicle collision. They made it clear that the laws of physics said that John O'Keefe could not have been hit by a car and that a side swipe would not not knock him out of his shoe. So not only does the red taillight bloom on Brian Albert's front lawn like a perennial plant every February, but Newton's laws of physics also ceased to exist there at that time. After Reed was indicted for murder, arrested, and released on a $100,000 bail, she realized the Commonwealth was pressuring her to take a plea deal for manslaughter. Video footage of her arrest and booking on June 9th, 2023 shows Reed telling Sergeant Buchanan,
"Okay, you're aware he was beaten up by Brian from Calm Albert. I mean, we're all in on the same joke, right? My taillight is cracked and John is pulverized."
Karen realized that she was up against the most powerful and corrupt government officials who felt political pressure to get a conviction for an alleged cop killer. In September of 2022, she hired high-profile LA-based attorney Alan Jackson and his associate Elizabeth Little, specifically because of Jackson's experience with cell phone data extraction. Jackson had previously represented Kevin Spacey in Nantucket after he was falsely accused of sexually assaulting a young man. The data extraction showed that a number of exculpatory text messages from the alleged victim's phone were deleted by his mother, Heather Unruh, a WCVB reporter, and Jackson got the case thrown out. In October of 2022, the Reed team filed a motion asking the court to order that several people inside the house, including Brian Albert and Brian Higgins, preserve their phones. For the first time, they put on the record their theory that John O'Keefe was killed inside the house and that Karen was framed afterward. Shortly
Damn, I done got right back into this shit. Like I was sitting here, forgot what we were doing, dude.
Are you high?
Yeah, but I got lost in this Karen Reed stuff again, just like 5 minutes ago. Probably
Wait, so what part did you forget we were doing if you were stuck in the Karen Reed?
I thought I was like sitting on the couch just by myself watching TV.
Yeah. Danny was about to whip it out and start, he thought he was by himself.
Then somebody said small kielbasa in the chat, and I was like, damn it, I'm on here with Dean.
I'd have liked if you did.
What, small kielbasa?
Yeah.
He likes the small kielbasages.
after the motion was filed, Brian Albert's youngest brother, Tim Albert, posted this ominous, threatening message on Facebook telling the world that if you fuck with his family, he won't hesitate to make you the most miserable person. Judge Peter Krupp allowed the motion for the preservation order, but the day before it was to be put into place, Brian Albert and Brian Higgins were tipped off to it by the Norfolk County DA's victim witness advocate, Steve Nelson. Brian Albert immediately got rid of his phone, and Higgins removed his SIM card, placed the phone and SIM card in separate trash bags, and drove them to an Army base in Cape Cod, where he disposed of them in a dumpster. They both pretended that this was normal when they testified. Back to the ARCA experts. Guess who hired them? Not the defense. It was actually the FBI. Shortly after the addition of Jackson and Little, Reed's defense team reached out to the United States Attorney's Office because they believed their client was the victim of a police cover-up and corruption in the DA's office. The USAO easily could have ignored them, but they found their claims credible and ended up launching an investigation into the investigation of John O'Keefe sometime around December of 2022. On April 10th, 2023, Colin Albert was visited in his Bridgewater State dorm room by two FBI officials with the subpoena to appear before a federal grand jury. Several others inside the house also received summons, including Brian Albert and Brian Higgins. I wrote my first story in the Canton cover-up a week later, and the Karen Reed case blew up overnight. In May of 2023, Lucky Loughran was also visited by two FBI agents as he repeated the same story that he told me. There was no body on Brian Albert's front lawn at 2:30. Everyone in the house immediately lawyered up. Brian Albert's family hired attorney Greg Henning. Colin Albert hired Joe Krowski Jr., and Higgins hired Brian Connolly. Higgins immediately cut tie with the Albert family and began ignoring their messages. Clearly, they were worried about what Higgins would tell the grand jury. This prompted Kevin Albert to send a text message to Higgins telling him that he was making everyone worried. But worried about what? Just tell him the guy never came in the house. Jennifer McCabe, Matt McCabe, Brian Albert, Colin Albert, Sarah Levinson, Julie Nagel, Michael Proctor, and several others ended up testifying before a closed-door grand jury session. Although no indictments have come as of yet, the FBI hired ARCA to see if Karen Reed could be ruled out as a suspect. She was. From there...
Mary B, what you smoking? I just opened a Gellinade pre-roll. I'm about to...
I was smoking lobster pot.
Oh, a lobster pot.
Yeah, I was inspired by the great lobster heist.
Nice. The lobsters.
Lobster.
I'm just asking for an 8 ball and $2 million.
There, they began secretly monitoring the McAlberts and Proctor's phones, and their suspicious, incriminating text messages were included in a 3,000-page report that was given to both the Commonwealth and the defense shortly before trial. The report is what showed Brian Albert and Higgins were tipped off to destroy their phones. The investigation discovered that Albert and Higgins lied to the state grand jury that indicted Karen Reed when they testified they were sleeping at 2 a.m. At 2:22 a.m., Albert called Higgins, but Higgins didn't answer. Higgins called back right away, and they spoke for 22 seconds. After being confronted with the fact that they clearly lied about being asleep, Higgins and Albert came up with a new lie. They butt dialed and butt answered each other. In fact, Albert testified that after drinking all day, the man in his 50s decided to have sex with his wife, Nicole, and while they were having sex, he butt answered Higgins' butt dial. A February 1st, 2022 group text message with the McCabe's and Alberts shows that Matt McCabe was telling the others to instruct Chris Albert to tell the media.
Tell them the guy never went in the house.
Oh, that's the great part. What's up, Crispy Treat? We've been trying to tell you that your rat picture's ready in Toys Boutique in the Discord for a while.
Correct?
But I know why you've been missing, so hopefully you feel better.
Yes. Mr. McCabe, who was the guy that you were referring to? Does he have a name? That would be John.
Why would they need to instruct Chris Albert, who wasn't at 34 Fairview Road that night, to say this if John never came inside the house? The text also showed that the McAlberts were heavily monitoring police activity at the scene and discussing who was telling the police what. A Quantico-trained forensic expert from the FBI also confirmed that Jennifer McCabe's Google search happened at 2:27. But perhaps the most damning thing the FBI discovered were Michael Proctor's text messages. On the evening of January 29th, 2022, when one of his friends named Bird asked Proctor if the homeowner would, quote, get some shit for having a dead cop on his lawn, Proctor responded by saying, nope, homeowner is a Boston cop. Literally saying that the reason Brian Albert wouldn't be treated as a potential suspect, as he normally would, was because of his status as a police officer. The messages with his friends that night show that he had already decided that Karen Reed and Karen Reed alone was guilty, telling them that there would be, quote, serious charges brought on the girl. He couldn't hide his disdain for Karen Reed, telling his friends,
she's a whack job.
These are your words, Trooper Proctor?
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead and say them.
Cunt. Yeah, she's a babe. Weird Fall River accent, though. No ass.
When asked if she would be skating on the charges, he replied, 0 chances she skates. She's fucked. He told them that, quote, all the powers that be want answers ASAP, indicating political pressure to charge Reed quickly. Proctor's text not only showed his bias, it showed what a pig he was. When asked if she was attractive, Proctor made fun of her medical condition.
She's got a leaky balloon knot, leaks poo.
On the day that she was indicted, Proctor texted fellow Norfolk State Police Detective David DeChico and said that Reed was attractive.
If you like women who shit themselves.
Right before arresting Reed for murder on June 9th, Proctor texted his wife Elizabeth and told her, we're going to lock this whack job
What's wrong
up
with
on
women
August
that shit
17th
themselves?
in a group text that
First of all, who here doesn't like a little poo play? That's just me? All right. I guess you can keep playing.
included his superior officers, Lieutenant Fanning and Sergeant Buchanan. Proctor said that he was going through David Yanetti's
retarded client's phone. No nude so far. I hate that man. I truly hate him.
Since Yanetti was alleging that Proctor's investigation was flawed. Proctor's text also showed that he and DeChico discussed ways to manipulate the medical examiner. Proctor called M.E. Irene Scortibello a whack job because her report said that the cause of John's death was undetermined. DeChico mocked Proctor for not being able to pressure the M.E. to come back with a homicide determination.
That's too far.
What?
That's too far.
What's too far?
2 girls in a cup.
Oh, yeah.
That's what virtual juror just said.
I saw. And
Why
I
would
was
you bring
offended.
that- Why would you ever bring that up?
Yeah.
Dean, are you okay?
No.
Yeah,
No,
we
I
have
don't.
standards
No, I'm
here,
not.
don't you know?
Mary B, be more compassionate towards Dean and his feelings.
Yeah.
He's on his truth journey, and that's not on it.
This is my truth.
Yeah, well, don't be a bitch.
You mentioned you like poop play, and all of a sudden people start throwing out old videos that are gross.
Truth journeys are hard, Dean.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
is my truth, Mary B, not yours.
Just like Dean. They're hard.
Proctor really hated Scortibello, and she turned out to be a great witness for the defense at the trial because she testified that John could have been hit with a blunt object. Perhaps most disturbing was Proctor's text messages with his sister Courtney, in which they both talk about how they hope Karen Reed kills herself so that the O'Keefe family didn't have to sit through a trial. Jurors were never told about the federal investigation, so they had no idea that all of these text messages came from the feds, or that ARCO was hired by the feds, or that the investigation itself was so suspect that the U.S. attorney himself, Josh Levy had conducted a grand jury in which all these witnesses were grilled about their lies. Jurors afterwards said that they thought ARCA was paid to lie by Karen Reed's car insurance company. Had they known about the federal investigation, it certainly would have impacted their verdict, which is exactly why Judge Beverly Cannoni didn't allow it to be mentioned in court. Speaking of Judge Cannoni, the former public defender hasn't exactly tried to hide her obvious bias for the favor of the Commonwealth. Judge Cannoni wouldn't allow the defense to hold an evidentiary hearing. She allowed the Commonwealth witnesses who aren't doctors to testify about the causation of injuries, but not defense witnesses, and put sanctions on defense attorneys over a misunderstanding involving paying for witnesses, travel expenses, but never once reprimanded the Commonwealth for presenting an inverted video at trial. In July of 2023, the defense filed a motion to recuse the judge after Matt McCabe's brother Sean messaged this award-winning journalist and said that he was going to murder me and bury my corpse in the front yard of Auntie Bev's seaside cottage. Somehow, Sean McCabe knew that Cannoni owned a seaside cottage down the Cape that was just a couple miles from his house. Additionally, Judge Cannoni's brother is a lawyer who represented Chris Albert in 1994 when Albert was convicted of killing a Hungarian foreign exchange student in a hit-and-run car crash. To the surprise of no one, Judge Cannoni denied the motion to recuse after determining that she wasn't biased. Little did I realize that Sean McCabe was going to be the least of my problems. You see, I was too effective at getting the word out about the Commonwealth's blatant corruption. I was holding protests in the courthouse steps before hearings, and even held a rolling rally in Canton where we stopped at the homes of the McAlberts and Proctors for 5 minutes each, and I explained to the crowd of 100 or so people what they'd done to cover up the murder of John O'Keefe. The state police and Norfolk DA's office really didn't like this. In August of 23, DA Michael Morrissey issued a press release video in which he inappropriately vouched for the truthfulness of the McAlberts, said that Michael Proctor didn't know any of the witnesses, and demanded that the protests stop. But of course, we didn't.
Colin Albert didn't commit murder. Jennifer McCabe, Matthew McCabe, and Brian Albert. These people were not part of a conspiracy and certainly did not commit murder or any crime that night. They have been forthcoming with authority, providing statements, and have not engaged in any cover-up. They are not suspects in any crime. They are merely witnesses in the case.
Oh.
Trooper Proctor had no close personal relationship with any of the parties involved in the investigation.
What?
And had no conflict. And he had no reason to step out of the investigation. Every suggestion to the contrary is a lie.
On September 25th, 2023, I published a story after getting a tip that a car resembling Jennifer McCabe's was seen parked at the Proctor's house. If true, it would mean that Morrissey had lied in the statement about the Proctors not being friends with any of the witnesses. In order to verify this, I asked Turtle Riders if one of them could run a license plate for me and gave them the license plate number of the car parked outside Proctor's house. Several people ran it for me, but one of them was an Avon police dispatcher named Janelle Webb, and it was traced back to her. For the crime of peacefully protesting, reporting the news, and exposing the fact that Michael Morrissey is a liar, I was arrested on October 11th, 2023 at my kid's bus stop and charged with 9 counts of felony witness intimidation, 3 counts of...
Maybe you remember when we did the rundown on Billy Tibbetts?
Yes, I remember that. Yeah,
awesome.
We're very informative channel.
I wish that Dean would be up next time he's in Massachusetts, would just be walking around up there, fucking around, talking shit about Billy Tibbetts. Billy Tibbetts be there. Oh,
that would be quite funny. Yeah.
Get that shit out of Dean with one of those hockey beatdowns where he pulls his shirt up over his head.
Give him two black eyes.
Fuck yeah, and the Red Lobster has to give us the video because we'll make a fake subpoena and get it. We want that video, Red Lobster.
Ticketing and 1 count of conspiracy to commit witness intimidation. I was indicted 2 months later. Since I was out on bail, another charge would mean that my bail could be revoked for 60 days. Naturally, then, Brian Tully and Special Prosecutor Ken Mello began conspiring with the side chick I was seeing on Friday nights, deputized her as a witness, and got her to invite me over to her apartment so that they could falsely accuse me of hitting her and have me charged with witness intimidation. For that, I was sentenced to 60 days in jail on my birthday, the day after Christmas. The trial began on April of 2024 and lasted almost 3 months. On the final day of closing statements, Judge Cannoni called up a juror who was visibly...
Maybe you look like Snake Eyes that's on Krusty Panty's lives all the time, like in the dark with his hoodie and his big fucking sunglasses and shit.
Yeah, I kind of like wearing the hoodie because then I don't have to worry about the top of my head.
But you're in Massachusetts. You look like a witch.
Wait, what do you have to worry about the top of your head for?
Well, because like my hair is up here and like sometimes it just like looks kind of unruly. So if I have this on.
Well, it's not the greatest look.
I know what you're saying, Mary B. I'm much more comfortable wearing a hood on my head.
I'm in
Mississippi.
Yes, I feel so like enclosed and comfortable. Like no one can get me in here.
Exactly. It's like a safe space.
Yes. Yes.
That's what we'll call it.
And I don't care if I look like a witch. I think that's cool, actually.
Is everyone here high? Is that
Yeah.
what's going on?
It's kind of what we do here, Dean.
Is this your first freaking day, dude?
Yeah, I think it might be.
Do you even watch the show, Dean?
I do
By
not.
the Commonwealth
I'll be
throughout
honest.
most
I
of
do
the
not.
trial and told her that she'd been reported by Lieutenant John Fanning, who was somehow in charge of juror security, for allegedly talking about the case at a bar 6 weeks prior. And Judge Kearney then appointed a former cop who was hit by a car to be the jury foreman, exempting him from the lottery that would determine who the alternates were. Clerk Jim McDermott drew 2 numbers out of a bucket, but didn't show anyone in court what those numbers were. 2 other jurors who planned on voting not guilty were named alternates and not allowed to deliberate. After 5 days of deliberations, the deep division.
That's what I was saying, Mary B. Trying to say it sideways because I'm in Mississippi.
Yes.
Yeah.
I looked at him like there is a reason this doesn't look
As
right.
soon as you come in, you're like, oh, it's shit. They haven't changed a bit.
Yeah, I saw somebody make that comment
sincere adherence
in
to
the
our
chat.
individual principles and
And he's
moral
like, can you
convictions.
please not do that on my
Continue to
channel?
deliberate
Thank
would be
you.
futile and only serve to
Do
force us to
not-
compromise these
do
deeply
not.
held beliefs. I'm not going to do that to you folks. Your service is complete. I'm declaring a mistrial in this case.
Judge Kearney declared a mistrial without polling any of the jurors. Just when you thought things couldn't get any more corrupt.
That mistrial hurt so bad. It was a kind of a win, but like a half win, but like we're going to have to do it again, one kind of win.
It's not really a win, dude, because the cost of second trial.
Well, it was because she didn't go to prison.
Yeah, but
Shit.
But, like,
she
it's
went
just
home.
prolonging. You know what I mean?
She
Like
went
it's not.
fucking bail, but she went home.
Dean, as being a person that didn't really weren't really super into the case. Like, can you imagine being on a jury where they show you a fake video? Like, they show you a video that's not real and tell you that it's real. Like, wouldn't you just be like, all right, fuck you. I'm saying not guilty. Like, right after that, I would have been like, no, I need to see no more.
Well, there's so many gaps in their story that I'd be like, yeah, no. Even
Yeah.
without the fake video, but fake video for sure.
Yeah, like, you guys seriously tried to just pull that on me. Like, fuck
Mhm.
you.
Well, you did. You asked for it, so that's what we're here for. At least you aren't ganging up on me anymore. Now it's your turn, Mary B.
Corrupt. Jurors started speaking out afterwards.
The one charge that we were not very clear on and not everybody was in agreement with
Bowtie Ronnie.
was essentially the manslaughter charge, involuntary
Just like
manslaughter.
Dean.
So that was the one that we were not clear on. But the other 2 charges, which was essentially second-degree murder as well as leaving a scene of an accident, was very clear. We all 12 agreed that was not the case.
And since the jury instructions were not clear, they had no idea that they could acquit on 2 charges and hang on
Wait,
the third.
wait,
Now Karen
wait.
Reed will have to face those charges again.
Guys, everybody.
Right, half the jury coming forward and
Wait.
swear.
What happened?
Wait. We just hit
Oh my God.
our highest number of live viewers.
Yay!
New record, guys. We're at like 620.
Yeah, new record right here.
Nice.
Congratulations, Danny.
And at the same time, we're going to finish a video.
Oh my God.
We're almost to the end of it. So
Best day
here we
ever.
go. 2 things at once. 2 things can be
saying
true.
that they voted to acquit her. Trial 2 will be very different from the first trial. Micah Proctor has been fired, and it's unclear if he or the disastrous Joseph Hall will be called as witnesses by the Commonwealth. We know that they've abandoned several of their own witnesses that were favorable to Karen Reed, and they've added fake YouTube doctors as expert witnesses who will try to prove that Trooper Paul what he couldn't do in the first trial. The Norfolk County DA's office has hired mob attorney Hank Brennan, a close personal friend of mass murderer Whitey Bulger, to be lead prosecutor for the Commonwealth. They have dozens of ADAs who get paid to do that job already, but all of them refused to do it, and there was no way they were going with Lunchbox Lally again. Brennan claimed that he wanted to ensure Karen Reed got a fair trial, but since taking over, he spent most of his time trying to prevent her witnesses from testifying. Thus far, Brennan has shown a deep personal obsession with getting things he's not entitled to, like phone records for me and everyone in Karen Reed's family. But the facts and the science remain on the side of Karen Reed. Some may say that it's hard to believe that this many people could be involved in a conspiracy conspiracy, but it's really not that complicated. 5 well-connected people with ties to law enforcement, Brian Albert, Nicole Albert, Matt McCabe, Jennifer McCabe, and Brian Higgins, spoke to police after being alone for hours and getting their simple story straight. The guy never came in the house. The lead detective was from Canton, and his family called the Alberts a second family. All he had to do was cover for them, plant some taillight, and avoid doing normal detective work. His bosses instinctively covered for him because cops don't snitch on other cops. From there, it's just people trusting institutions. It all makes sense. It all fits. Karen Reed defying the laws of physics, cell phone data no longer being reliable evidence, and eyewitnesses not seeing something that they definitely should have seen does not make any sense. There can never be justice for John O'Keefe without justice for Karen Reed. She is undeniably innocent, which means by default that the McAlberts are undeniably guilty. We may never know exactly what happened to John O'Keefe when he went inside Brian Albert's house, but we know as a fact that he was beaten up by several people, attacked by a dog, and thrown out on the lawn to die in the cold. We know as a fact that the state police are well aware of this and that they allowed Michael Proctor to intentionally subvert justice. But we also know that we will never stop fighting for justice until Karen Reed is free. As we now head into trial 2,
Scott McGinnis makes it a Scott hat trick.
Are they all still here though? We got to show proof of life for the trifecta.
It's a hat trick.
All Scots, please check in.
Yeah, all Scots, please check in. Your moms are here to pick you up. Scott, your mom's here to pick you up. Sorry if your mom's gone or whatever. That's a horrible joke, but if they're my age or older, they've been at the skating rink and they paused that badass fucking Bon Jovi music that's rocking me like, Bobby, your mom's here to pick you up. She's up at the front.
You're expecting more facts proving Karen Reed's innocence to come out in court. I will be there every step of the way, documenting, reporting, and fighting for real justice for John O'Keefe and for Karen Reed.
Bam.
That last part when he's talking about Trooper Paul and like the question is, will Trooper Paul be back in trial 2? It's like if only he could have foreseen, no, we're going to pay $400,000 for blue paint. That's going to be the twist.
I want framed 3.
Yeah. Or get like some type of conclusion video. We want it now. We want it now. Today.
Hi.
We're impatient.
My daughter is on stream.
Oh. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you. I have my new mic, but I haven't set it up yet, so I don't know if it sounds like shit or not.
Sounds better than usual.
Yeah, it's the best you've ever sounded.
Well, the best she's ever sounded was when she left the stream.
Yeah,
if we're being honest. But you sound better than usual, that's for sure.
Those texts are coming through loud and clear.
Oh, good. Can you hear Dakota talking in the background now?
Yes.
Yes.
Dean, I've got something I want you to read.
All right. But before we do that, since Danny rudely interrupted the celebration before.
Oh, God.
We are at the highest live viewers we've ever had. Give it up for Danny, everybody in the chat. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you're not subscribed.
It's only by like 10.
Yeah, but it's still a new record.
It is a new record.
We love beating records.
Yes, we do.
All right.
But this is about Brian Jr. and I think it's pretty good. So
And his cousin Colin.
Oh, and Colin. Cool. Nice. All right, Dean.
All right.
You ready?
Yeah, I am. But there was a question in the chat. Am I reading super chats tonight again?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I will be.
Oh, yes. As soon as we get done with this, we'll start them.
All right.
There's not a lot of them. We're good.
According to sources, last night Colin Albert and Brian Albert Jr., the cousin Colin had to say happy birthday to in person during the middle of a blizzard before allegedly leaving 5 minutes before John O'Keefe arrived. Allegedly got into an altercation at an engagement party at the Landmark in Dorchester and were kicked out of the bar around 10:30 p.m. Colin can be seen in this short video chirping at a middle-aged man with gray hair across the bar. After leaving the bar, the Alberts and Colin's friends reportedly waited outside and proceeded to jump one of the middle-aged men they were arguing with inside the bar. 3 BPD cruisers pulled up within minutes, but didn't stay long. Colin was not reportedly involved in the jumping, but was one of the instigators inside the bar. Regardless, the energy that the Alberts walk with when they go out drinking in public and their constant inability to avoid threats and physical altercations is further evidence that they are nothing but thugs. Now imagine what they would do if a drunk middle-aged man stumbled into their homes and disrespected the family patriarch, Brian Albert Sr.
That's the gay buddy in the corner.
It wasn't super.
Go to the pictures and you can see which one to be looking for. Yeah.
Okay. Who is that?
One's Brian Albert Jr. and one's Colin. That's Brian
Hitler.
Albert Jr. there.
That guy has a Hitler stash.
Ah, thank you.
His mustache, yes.
Well, he really likes my
That's the gay buddy in the corner.
Did you hear it? That's the gay cousin in the corner.
So that's not Junior, that's Colin.
That's Colin.
It's Colin.
Colin.
So you have to look for the
that's Junior now?
That's
Hitler Jr. That's Brian Albert Jr.
Now Junior was the one that was talking shit to him at the on the D&E pizza confrontation.
Yes.
What, so he gained like 40 pounds?
No, he's
No,
not.
that was
Right,
Chris.
no.
That was
That was Chris Albert's kid.
Yeah. Brian Albert Jr. testified in trial 1.
Christian.
And he's like 8 feet tall.
8 feet tall. God.
Yeah, maybe
They
probably
think
your
he's
height.
Julie Nagel's boyfriend, which we found out is not the truth.
Yeah.
I thought he was short. No.
No, he's very tall.
Okay.
Very tall. So hold on a second. Sorry.
Okay.
Yes, antisocial. This just happened the other day.
It
So
said
that
6
was
days
pretty
ago.
recent.
You think they'd learn how to behave by now?
That's just proof that they can't. Like every time they go out, they get into trouble.
Yay! Elbow room. Saturday night, 8:30.
All
We
right,
got
I'm
a
just gonna
band.
do better.
It's 7:30 over on this side.
I'm
So
gonna
it's-
be. They're still wearing
Oh.
the epileptic necklaces.
That girl in the shorts is doing my dance move.
There she is.
The
Oh, I
rock.
thought you just had to pee.
That's what I based my dance off of.
No, she
Needing
took
to
her
pee.
neck brace off to come in there. It's like she got that stiff neck.
Okay, now I like the one with the backwards hat, and yeah, okay.
Oh, Mary B, who's behind you? The
This guy
orange
has on
hat.
black socks
This
too.
is
Come
Fiona.
on.
Okay, Fiona. And Freya is the other one.
Yeah, she's the calico.
I always switch up the names.
Let's see what's going on in New Orleans. We got 30 minutes, and I've got the redirect set. So if you want to hang out here,
You're
drop
not gonna
the
miss Teebs. We're gonna go together.
yeah, we're gonna go together.
So I told you, Danny, my cousin's on her way to Dublin,
Yep.
and she is willing to go to that bar.
Ooh,
It's like the place to go, though. So
we love spying on people.
She's actually, I guess she's staying right near there.
Oh wow.
It's very lit up.
yeah. Look at the farmer's stand on this guy right here.
He got through mowing.
Yeah. And nobody that rode there with him said, "Hey, dude, you need to put some fucking sleeves on. Whatever you've been wearing every day, you need to put it back on because you got like a roll of lifesavers coming up from that beer."
You know he's got a ton of skin tags.
Oh no!
Oh,
Molly.
that's disgusting. That is some shit that I've never thought about
Always-
before.
always
And now
about to have
Sorry, I'm in
technical
medicine. I do a
difficulties.
lot of EKGs. Believe me, it's gross.
Lauline's about to have some technical difficulties.
I'm trying to do better at roasting, Danny. Dang it.
Yeah, I mean that was
that was good.
Bourbon Street, New Orleans.
All
It's
right,
a
let's
stirring this evening. They're reading palms over here.
And over here too. Is that
And
direct?
over here, yeah.
Is there going to be like a street fight with the
They're going to have a dance off here. in
Be like,
30
yo, this
minutes.
is my corner.
Turf war.
Are they
Take
wearing-
the crossroads.
Are they wearing winter boots and shorts?
No, it's so
Oh yeah,
hot
it's
down here
78
right now.
degrees out here.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm in Mississippi. I guess I'm only 2.5 hours from this place right here.
Hand grenade, hand grenade.
There's the hand grenade right there.
Count the
So
hand grenade.
everybody wants to know what the hand grenade is. That's it.
That's hand grenade.
That's what the cup looks like.
There's a
Inside
little
of it.
plastic hand grenade at the bottom.
And there's
Why?
the most vile tasting melon ball.
But
It's
your
like
hotel
supposed to be a
room
melon ball.
will be in.
It's a melon ball with like Everclear in it.
Like sour city.
No, it's not even sour.
No,
it's
it's like
gross.
holy shit, that's alcohol.
Yeah, like I
Oh.
slept with my foot on
Your
the
brain's
floor.
like,
in my
holy
hotel
shit, that's
bed.
alcohol. That's 200 proof.
I've
That's the
never
shit
had my
stuff.
room spin before hand grenades.
Mm-hmm. Don't drink them fast, people.
I did, and a lot of them.
You come up here, we'll give you a Mai Tai and like a tiny cup, like a little 8-ounce cup, and you'll feel it.
Well, are we talking about Dragon 88?
Nice.
Dragon 88 is a great example.
Yes. Love Dragon 88.
Rocket fuel, 151, just make it happen.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's like this guy didn't need anything to draw more attention to yourself, you fucking idiot. Like, hey, look at me.
Well, the girls like him
Holy
because
hell.
he's funny.
I know, but you're as wide as
Nothing
you
on
are
his
tall. You don't put a
that like
beacon
a
on
tennis
so people
elbow?
can find you.
It looks like jelly roll.
Is it an ambient? What is that?
That's a little. That's a little.
An air
jelly.
tag?
Doesn't it look like him?
Yeah,
It's
it
his
is.
long lost brother. I love jelly roll, so we can't.
Hey, I
roast
found
him.
you.
Look at
These
him.
two are friends. They both
Hey,
got
anybody seen Bob?
Where was
Santa's got a bow.
There he is.
3 foot wide, flashy necklace on.
Angel
Oh,
Girl
with
said-
the air guitar guy.
His friends
Wait.
like the country.
Danny.
Holy
Angel
shit!
Girl said that she was a bartender there in the 90s. My 20s were the
Oh,
best
don't
time of
spill
my
on me
life.
about that. You
Mother
almost
and
reached your
cat.
phone out.
How many boats did you go on? How many
Put
boats?
this dude's glasses
How
right
many
here.
people with boats came in per night?
Yeah.
Top left. It's like the overweight fear and loathing in Las Vegas right here.
Oh, Danny.
See a turkey?
Jess is
Fear and
doing it.
loathing in Fort Lauderdale. It's happening right now.
Oh, hugging it
He's
out.
the attorney.
Oh, the band. Those are band members. It's like, dude, I will beat this guy's fucking ass, bro. I'm the drummer for Whitesnake.
Hey, don't knock White Snake.
The lead singer's putting a ratchet bun in. Is it a girl or a guy?
Yeah, if you can shake left-handed, you're not the drummer for Whitesnake.
You're talking about Def Leppard.
Yes,
Def Leppard,
I'm with
yeah.
that too. Def Leppard.
Oh, it's messed up.
Horrible.
I know. I'll try not to tell it, but thanks to you.
Saw White
been
Snake
told.
in 2003 with
Oh my
Scorpions
God.
and Falcon. Yes, in a half arena concert, but it
Ain't
was so good.
this chick's about to have a boob pop out. We've got to have a backup plan.
That no one wants to see.
That's why her hat's backwards. She showed them things all night. It's like, this is not New Orleans. Nobody's
She
giving
had
them
good
anything
dance
for
moves
them.
earlier though. She was in it.
Oh, look at this guy. Come on, man. Give me a hug, bro. It's
What do
like,
you mean
dude,
I'm shut off?
You're the worst customer. We fucking hate you. Non-tipping motherfucker.
I didn't even do anything. I can't have any
Just
more
like-
drinks.
Yeah, you drank 6 days last week. $400 worth of shit.
It's
It's $1.
declining.
If I hug you, I'm kneeing you in the nuts. It's like
Can I tell a drummer joke?
No, not yet.
I'll wait. I'll hold on to it.
Danny, Jess
Now he's like,
Machado
dude,
is
I
doing
really
an
do
X
know that. He's
Spaces.
like, I really do know these people. Let's go over here. We gotta
Hey, this
walk. My
girl, like,
jeans are so fucking tight.
I thought this girl had dreadlocks, but she just really
Ooh,
needs
look
to
at this
brush
guy
her
right
hair.
here. Look at this. Who is this? Axl Rose?
Don't make fun of
Fuck
Axel
yeah,
being
that's Axl
pussy.
Rose.
Stevie Nicks.
Lita Ford and Axl Rose right here in the middle of the dance floor.
Stop it.
Stevie Nicks.
You never know.
MJ,
You never know what you're gonna see here.
MJ, what were you trying to say?
It's different.
I'm trying to tell Danny's rude ass that Jessica Machado is doing an X Spaces right now.
Ooh, send me the
That's
link.
just going out. That's just going to Fenway tonight.
Send me the link. Send me the link.
Yeah, she did mention Fenway yesterday.
Let's
Yeah,
do it
she
though.
said she
I'd
might
love to
not.
hear.
I'm
maybe
down like
Norway or
4
something.
flats on some spaces. I ain't lying. I ain't lying.
What's this guy in the middle
Tell us.
doing? What are you looking at, dude?
He's paying homage to his hat.
Yeah. Yeah, so send me the
Maybe
link.
he
to space.
recently transitioned and he's looking down at where his penis used to be.
Taz, what
He's
up?
walking up hard up on that girl though.
Venus.
His Miami Hurricanes hat. Oh, now he's pointing at her. He's got a little bit of attitude.
All right, we're done with that.
Go for it.
Just
Take a
getting
deep
good.
breath. We're going into the Jess Machado spaces. Let's get it.
Going in.
Gary goes, correct. So I was with him 2 weeks ago, and I happened to be with him, and a picture got posted of us. Jessica sent him an influx of messages. You're a piece of shit. We are not friends anymore. Fuck you. How dare you? And told him, don't post your show on WSAR or on Save the Bay Brayton Point pages anymore, where she's a member. You've lost your privileges. So then last night, Becca Dumont went on his Facebook page and starts berating him. Cardella goes, okay, so what? Lynch goes, Becca Dumont has a common denominator. And the police officer goes, yes, so when did that whole first exchange happen with Leary? And Shauna says, the night it got posted last Monday. That was in, I have the messages. So Cardella goes, so he posted a picture with you and that was on Facebook. And Gary goes, yes, he posted a picture with me and Holly. And she reached out to him, told him, you're a piece of shit. And Cardella goes, well, how do you know she reached out? And Gary says, Leary sent me the messages. Cardella goes, all right, so do you have those? And Gary goes, so in the picture says something about fam. And Cardella goes, yup. And she goes, so she wrote, don't, like she's telling him, don't call me, I'm on vacation, call your fam. And Cardella goes, uh-huh. And Gary goes, stop. And she's quoting the thing. And so Lynch to Gary goes, so this is as Becca Dumont, she's messaging Jeff Leary. So her attorney at this point, by the way, is literally asking this woman, these messages are as the fake profile. And Gary has to admit, no, this is as Jessica. And then now she's talking to him, like not talk. So this interaction goes on. And the police officer is just like asking, like, can we get some clarification? Where's your proof that this is her? And it keeps going on and on and on. And they get to the end where the police officer is like, okay, but this isn't her, right? It's all like, what is it? It's transcribed here. I'm going to post the whole thing so you'll see it.
What are we talking about?
Violation C. Facebook post regarding school committee papers. So Attorney Lynch goes, it looks like she's now trying to run again. Gary interjects and says she pulls papers to run for school committee to sit with me this year, which she really couldn't do. Attorney Lynch goes, right, so she's running for school committee again. That is just going to be whatever. So she posted these pictures under her profile. Now, one of the common denominators also in the numerous court hearings we've had is that she refers to my client continuously as corrupt. Cardella writes, I was then furnished with a series of printouts containing images from Machado's Facebook page. The images depicted a post showing several different town nomination papers. The photographs appeared to have been posted by Machado, along with the caption that read, quote, just turned in 3 sets of papers to the town hall clerk. Get fucked. I love me, by the way. An enlarged photograph of one of these nomination papers denotes that it is for the school committee. Written in the signature field on the form where a prospective candidate is supposed to gather signatures of supporters, there is the following declaration. Quote, there is no more dangerous menace to civilization than a government of incompetent, corrupt, or vile men. So I turned in my papers, and without the signatures, I just put that quote on it. Again, I love me. It's more of a statement to everybody. Cardella writes, I asked if these documents were specific to the school committee. Geary indicated that 2 of them were. I was initially unable to discern whether the departments on the other, what the other departments were on the other documents. On Wednesday, March 9th, I contacted the town clerk's office. I subsequently confirmed that the additional documents were relative to other town committees and not specific to the school committee. Given that the school committee was not the only political body referenced here, I believe that this was less of a targeted message towards one particular body or individual therein, but more so to the town government as a whole. Furthermore, I confirmed that these forms were obviously invalid. I subsequently obtained copies of these forms from the town clerk's office. In addition to the school committee, they were also filed relative to the Parks and Playground Committee and the Somerset Berkeley Regional High School Committee. Copies of these forms have been attached to the report, and you can see them in the report, Meredith, when you get it. Geary seemed to acknowledge this, stating, and I'm not saying that there's any way to prove in court that she's talking about me, but my point is she's just in the spiral again, going down the rabbit hole again. Geary acknowledged that the next election for school committee was next year and was against her. I explained to Geary and Lynch that I did not believe that a harassment prevention order subverted one's ability to seek political office against a rival who was also the plaintiff of that order. Based upon the information presented to me, I did not form the belief that this constituted a violation of the harassment prevention order. C. Unofficial George McNeil for Bristol County Facebook page. For clarification purposes, it is important to note here that former Somerset Police Chief George McNeil has announced his candidacy for Bristol County Sheriff. Additionally, McNeil is currently in a dating relationship with Geary. Given that his campaign for sheriff is underway, there is a legitimate Facebook page devoted to Chief McNeil's campaign. Geary and Lynch explained that there is also an unofficial and illegitimate Facebook page running in tandem to the legitimate page. Geary states, someone started, Jess and Chris Murphy started a Facebook page, George McNeil for Bristol County Sheriff, because they were trying to beat us to the punch, like thinking that they'd screw us. And the officer goes, like when Trump bought Bush's campaign domain? And Geary goes, correct. Before George even told me he was running, he bought his domain name because he knew that they would try to. Geary then explained that she is currently acting as McNeil's campaign manager. She indicated that the unofficial page appeared to have been created as a diversion for anyone looking to locate the actual page, which is similar in name. The unofficial page, however, appears to have been created as a place to disparage McNeil. Geary and Lynch put forth that they believe Machado may somehow be involved with the creation of this page, and Geary cited that an incidental video regarding McNeil, which had been posted on that page, had also been posted by Machado some time ago. Attorney Lynch says, quote, I wouldn't have an issue with her fake if it's her, if my client wasn't involved whatsoever with the campaign. The fact that she's out there in public being the campaign manager. Geary says, I would argue that if you ran and I ran your campaign, she would do it to you. It's going to be anyone that's near me, part of my life at all, forever. It was evident that Geary and Lynch were putting forward the concept that Machado may have ties to the unofficial George McNeil for Sheriff Facebook page, and that because McNeil is dating Geary, who is publicly identified as his campaign manager, that this is problematic behavior on behalf of Machado. While the possibility exists that Machado created the unofficial page or is otherwise involved with it, there is no evidence to suggest that it is in fact her. Additionally, even if it were to be Machado, the order itself does not extend to Geary's significant other. Furthermore, McNeil is a public official running for public office, and while the criticism may be distasteful, it was not tantamount to a breach of the order. Of the concerns brought forth to me, I noted that the only one which appeared to even be a probable violation of the order would be if Machado was in fact behind the Becca Duma account and was using it to contact Geary directly. Thus, I began my investigation into the Becca Duma Facebook profile. I just want to let you know, this is your tax dollars hard at work in Somerset, Massachusetts. An actual police officer, detective, actually had to investigate a fake
So everybody's saying
profile on Facebook.
Sorry.
And so it goes into his investigation into it. And
Everybody say hey to Zio. They're watching us on her stream.
Who?
Zio.
Hi.
Oh, hey, Zio. Hey.
What's up?
Yeah, I drop y'all in there sometimes.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Very nice in there.
There's some cool people in there.
Holla.
So they're watching us watch somebody else.
Yep.
Nice.
I love the internet.
It's fucking nice.
Indeed.
So, hello.
Anxious. She informed me that she had received a series of voice messages from Jeff Leary suggesting that they talk. She played these messages for me and subsequently showed me a transcript of the voicemail that he had left for her. It was evident that Leary had sent this to Machado. At the time, I explained that Geary had come, and by the way, those messages were him saying that Shauna had gone to the police about this fake profile. At the time, I explained that Geary had come into the police station with her attorney to explore whether or not there had been violations to the standing HPO. I informed Machado that I had no intention of reaching out to her unless I discovered evidence linking to her to a violation of the order. And as such, I informed her that I did in fact wish to speak and question her, which could incriminate her. And because of that, I would be reading her rights under Miranda. I explained to Machado prior to reading these rights that she was free to leave at any time and that she was under no obligation whatsoever to speak with me. I then read Machado her rights from a pre-printed Somerset Police Department Miranda rights form. After being so advised of these rights, Machado agreed to speak with me without an attorney present. I just want to let you know that because I was so confident that I hadn't violated this order, I had absolutely no problem answering questions. With that being said, having my rights read to me in a, room investigative, like an interrogation room, it's pretty traumatic. I don't like to talk too much about it because it was so traumatic for me, because if you've never been in that situation, when your rights are getting read, at this point I was in my mid 40s.
Did we get kicked out? May have. Hold on.
I wish I could highlight comments.
Why?
Because Justice for Lauren Barry made a funny comment.
Funny to you or funny to everybody?
It would be funny to everybody. Yeah.
How fucking funny is it? How long ago was it? Because I'm
It's
still
wicked fucking funny.
Well, I don't see it.
Because you're retarded.
No, I'm not. I'm just scrolling back. There's a lot of people in here. There's a lot of comments.
It's only like 10 back, 7 back.
I went way past it though.
I need more power, damn it.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
All right, let's check in on the elbow room. I don't want everybody to leave. We're going to go back to just.
Yeah, it's kind of boring right now because she's just reading it.
Oh,
this dance party started.
The Miami Hurricanes got dancing in front of the stage.
Damn, look at them hips sway.
These men out there being all comfortable
With his
with
white
themselves.
tennis shoes.
The only reason really I want to watch the elbow room right now is because there was a troll in the chat that was like super triggered by this. So
why?
I don't know. He's like, well, it's better that they're actually out instead of sitting at home making fun of people who are out. It's like,
Is
whoa,
it?
dude. Whoa.
Is it?
Yeah, no. This
If he
is
starts
great.
doing the sprinkler or mowing the lawn, I feel it coming.
Oh, you're going to feel it coming if he gets behind you like that.
Charlie needs to come up and roast people.
Yeah, all of y'all need to get down and let Charlie come up here so we can
Hey,
get.
I have the skin tag comment. Doesn't that
I
count?
don't have enough time for that. If Teebs gets off early, we are going live again, and we will just goof off.
So, is the band even playing?
No,
he's just fucking
No, 'cause
getting it.
there were like 4 of them.
Yeah, but they're playing.
Yeah, they're playing music. I know.
But it's probably Kansas.
What is this?
Oh, yeah.
It's probably Kansas.
I really don't think the band is playing. There's one person standing up there not touching an instrument or a mic.
Yeah, no, but they're probably playing music.
Yeah, they turned on.
Yeah,
the
they're
shit
probably
radio.
taking a break. Yeah,
It's
exactly.
probably like the same 5 songs that cycle. Like
Danny,
Somebody's drugs kicked in, boy. Yeah,
Danny
look-
said
buddy.
it's Kansas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
But I think it's
That's the thing
Justin
is-
Bieber.
The thing is, like, the
Fucking
band is not
Trinity
playing the music.
Killer.
There is music, but he's dancing as if it's the
If
band.
it's
Yeah.
the band is playing, he's giving them
Trinity
like
Killer must have
props.
went home from vacation or something.
He's like, you guys are great. You're doing awesome.
Yeah.
Did that girl just grab that dude's ass?
I think
so.
so.
Oh, yeah, that happens a lot in this.
He just walked by and just rubbed his head.
Oh yeah.
Is he puking?
Snow still flows even though you're in Fort Lauderdale.
I know what song it is.
What
It's
song?
Kansas.
The DJ played Walk of Life.
I thought it was Clarence Carter stroking the way the guy was dancing.
May have been. All right, let's go back in here and see what they're talking about.
Shadow believed the entire situation was a nefarious plot against her in order to mitigate her concerns, and knowing Geary would likely also request the same information. I called I explained that the profile had unwittingly become entrenched in a long-standing issue and that there were a series of misconceptions regarding its origin and its use. I asked the person if I could divulge his name to the two parties involved in this case in order to quell fears and bring the matter to a full resolution. Understandably, the person stated he did not wish for me to divulge his information to the parties. I put forth the option of coming into the police station and having a sit-down conversation with separate parties to prove to both Geary and Machado that neither one of them were behind the profile and or using it as a plot against each other.
All right, I don't think anything exciting is coming out of that. Damn, we need to probably read these little.
Yeah, let's do it.
Chat.
Yeah, Angel's yelling at you.
Wow. What is it?
She said no super chats.
Okay. Gotcha.
All right.
Is that Dakota laughing in the background?
Yes, he's so stupid and obnoxious.
Hey,
All
Dakota,
right, so-
shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is important.
I want like a little Nerf gun so I can hit him in the head with it. When
I'm
he's too
proud of
loud.
you to choose a Nerf gun, MJ.
Yeah,
Well-
MJ's camera angle was making me nauseous. It's like, are you flying, hovering, or what?
Is it
Yeah,
wiggling
she's
a
hovering.
lot?
All right, Dean, go for it, buddy.
All right. Diane G for $10 says, bang, bang, heart in face emoji, two hands making a heart emoji, rat emoji, smoke, 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 party face emoji. The Sweet Woman, who again, as we always
on
got to make
panel.
this disclaimer, is not the same as Sweet
panel.
Woman on panel.
Will not take any slack for regular Sweet Woman.
Yeah.
Telling you.
For $10 says, Happy New Year, confetti. I don't like it though. What, you don't like New Year's?
Correct.
With Sweet Woman, that wasn't directed towards you. That was directed towards the Sweet Woman. Mary B 923, member for 3 months, says, Happy birthday, Turtle Boy. Free Turtle Boy. Confetti, birthday cake, balloon, gift.
Got him.
Love the Lead, Prince Lover, member for 1 month, says, hit thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up for the Rat Chat Daddy caps.
Good one.
Jen Fox, member for 2 months, says, love it here.
Wait, I got a question.
Go for it.
You can differentiate Prince Lover, but not Sweet
Absolutely.
Woman.
Sweet Woman and
No,
the
I
Sweet
would.
Woman.
Well,
What do you
anybody
mean
could.
differentiate? I did differentiate Sweet Woman and the Sweet Woman.
Yeah, anybody can do that.
Yeah.
It's not a special
But
skill.
the Red is Prince Lover.
Right.
Yeah.
But the Sweet Woman isn't Sweet Woman.
Absolutely not.
Thank you, MJ.
Why would they be the same person?
No. not
One
even
has
close.
Why? Why
Not even
is
close.
Love the Lead Prince Lover?
Because it's the same icon
Mhm.
that Prince Lover uses.
Oh, I see. All right, I get it.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Cheryl with an S, member for 3 months, says, so honored my framed banner made it in.
Ooh.
Got some of her local boots on the ground artwork in it.
Mhm.
Packers channel for $10. And before I read this, I got to ask, is that like Green Bay Packers?
I don't think so.
I think it's the kind of Packer
I think
you
it's
like.
what you're thinking.
Fudge Packers? Packers channel for $10 says super sticker. It was probably a super sticker. And they didn't say that.
Yeah, probably.
Probably. Angel Baby 3 to 2 gifted 5 Rat House Media memberships.
Hey, y'all know Bob McCarthy was the guy on the 3-2 video?
Oh,
Why,
no
yes,
fucking
Bob.
say.
No way.
No fucking say, Lolly.
I wish we'd have known that the other night.
Damn.
Angel Baby 3-2 member for 3 months says happy holiday chat rats, double heart smoke. This is a black rat as opposed to the white rat that somebody else did. I probably should have clarified that.
Love you, Angel Baby.
The white one is a mouse.
It is, but it has a tail, which means it actually can't be a mouse because it has a rat tail. But it is when you look up emojis.
Mice
Mouse.
have tails.
Mice have tails, dude.
Mice definitely have
not rat
tails.
tails.
They're
Well,
very
they
similar.
are different, but they are tails.
Yeah, but the white one has a very long tail, and that's a fucking rat tail. I don't care that it says mouse in the emojis.
Maybe it's just a freak mouse. Okay.
It might be a freak mouse. Christina limited edition.
Oh, no.
Sounds like I'm done.
Oh, sorry, Krista.
You're messing the boy's head up.
Krista limited edition became a YouTube member.
Welcome.
And then gifted.
Krista
really
limited
pretty.
edition gifted 5 Rat House Media memberships. Diane G gifted 5 Rat House Media memberships.
I'm poor, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just asking for an 8-ball and $2 million.
Trust is Love. Trust is Love. That is a good name. Gifted 5 Rat House Media memberships.
Hang on, MJ looked like she was about to do an SD move there for a minute. You about to lift your leg above your head?
No, I was moving it though. That's why I was like, I hope no one can see what I'm doing.
Peaches 12877 gifted 1 Rat House Media membership.
Yeah.
Diane G gifted 5 Rat House Media memberships.
Nice.
How come MJ doesn't ask if Diane G's drunk? Every time I do it, I get accused of being drunk.
Because of this.
Where did she go?
Probably fell asleep.
Well, that
She was
sucks
making my
because
lasagna.
She's probably doing dishes.
I'm usually the one doing dishes.
You ready?
Diane G for $10 says, remember when I said I liked ass play? Tell Auntie Deb, please.
Dean.
Dean.
So that was a Dean quote?
Yeah. See, I felt like I didn't have to say the Dean part because it's meant to be me saying it. Angel Baby 3-2 for $2 says, eggplant emoji. Is that a peach?
Yes, which is also a bum.
Okay, eggplant emoji, peach, pepper, 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 fucking big ass smile emoji, smoke,
That's
smoke,
an
smoke,
S-eating-
smoke, smoke, smoke.
That's
Fart,
an S-eating grin.
Can we, Danny, can you take a minute for Alabama Amy 77?
Yeah, why? What's
For
up?
the 3-2 explanation.
Oh,
3-2, yeah.
3-2, huh?
And you have a
Lauleen, do you want to
request-
explain?
Well, we don't have.
know what
We've only
you're
got 2
talking
more of these.
about.
Let's do 2 more of these real quick, and then we'll do that. We'll do it.
Okay.
You've had a request for Nurse Kim's theme too.
Yeah.
Her song.
Well, y'all better hurry up then.
All right. Jeannie Lynn for $10 says, congrats on your watchers! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Chat rats, rat daddy. Chat rats bling. Chat rats giggle.
Nice.
And then Brenda G, P1S, what that stands for, we don't know, became a YouTube member.
Welcome, Brenda G.
Welcome.
Sorry.
Tonight after this or no?
All right, so just give me a minute. 3-2.
More was asking.
I gotta find something real quick. It's easier than explaining it.
Dean sent it to you to prove me wrong 2 nights ago.
That's what I said. I said it's going to be after the pop up.
Is that what it is?
Teddy, come here.
I think I just shared it on screen. I'm not sure I sent it. Oh wait, no, I did send it. But I think I put it in the private chat.
Oh yeah, it was in the private chat. Yeah.
No.
Can I pet that dog?
Can I pet that
dog? You can pet this one.
cute.
It's my favorite.
So 3-2 was the Canton special.
Diane G, that would be MJ.
What's
Yeah,
that?
that's TV.
She said, "Who has a dude yapping in the background?"
That's MJ. Yeah.
And MJ, you got mistaken for Stupid April earlier by somebody.
That's an honor. I'm not half as pretty or as cool as her.
So 3-2, the board they put together to audit the Canton Police Department. They would meet, and Teebs would watch that. And one night, Bob McCarthy, we just got carried away. Every vote, like 200 fucking votes, were all 3-2, and it was just hilarious. So there was 2,000 or 3,000 people 3-2ing in the chat when they would get ready to vote. It would just be nothing but thousands of 3-2s. So ever since then,
The condescending way that he would do it, like as
Oh,
soon as
all
the
Bob
second
McCarthy
person.
said. You got to go back and watch that stream. I wish we had
Yeah,
time.
that is good entertainment.
Yeah, we need to figure out what stream that is Turtleboy was on, and then we'll
Well, it
watch.
would be
the
on
stream, yeah.
Chronicles and Young Jerks. They both streamed it.
Yeah, but we don't want to watch just the hearing. We want to watch like the live chat from the Turtleboy show, because that's what I was watching it on. That's where 3-2 became a thing in that chat. So you really want to read the chat.
Surely he has the police audit in the title of that stream for us to be able to find it.
I can't remember, but Dean had the link to that hearing, so at least he'll know the date. You can just search. We can search by that. But I'm trying to.
Hold on, I got you.
Yeah, he's got that somewhere.
Yep,
'Cause
here it
sent
is.
So we'll definitely ring that up for next time and just do a 3-2 explanation, and we'll read the chat. Oh god! And now you can just Google Bob McCarthy 3-2 like Dean did, and it'll pull that up for you.
Yeah. I sent it to you, Danny, in your DM, so you have it for next time.
Nice. Yeah, so we got that. We'll do it next time. Because you got to hear the way McCarthy is already, his little 3 are his votes, even though there's 2 other guys sitting there. He's just bending them to his will. But I think he's getting ready to go on, so everybody say your goodbyes so we can catch Toy's song. And this is at Toy 74 song that Teebs has been playing in his opening. So go to her page and subscribe.
Toy is famous.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, all the music is hers, not
Happy
mine.
belated birthday, TV. Good night, panel. Good night, chat.
And like I said, if he goes off at 10:30 again, we're going on at 10:35.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Promise?
Late night.
I'm on vacation, so we can go all day.
Yeah, I just don't trust Danny when he says that, because every time he says, "Oh, we'll do one after Turtleboy,"
Never.
I wait here. I sit in this chair for fucking hours.
Yeah.
I sit in my chair in my nice shirt.
Sitting in my
Mhm.
chair and nothing happens. Yeah, you're sitting in the chair, all right. It's a squeaky noise going on too.
Charlie, Danny's gonna need you if we go late night tonight.
He ain't sitting there waiting on us. That's for sure. MJ, anything you want to say to everybody before we get off here? No?
Does Dakota want to say anything before we go?
He's been talking the whole time. You sure you didn't want to just...
Start fucking
That is
flopping.
mullet.
ChatRats, y'all ready? Light it up. Light it up. It's that time. Let's roll.
Got the crew on the dial and we setting out east. Rat Daddy at the wheel on a trail for the beast. Toy got receipts and a pocket full of names, and we busting out truce like we blowing out flames.
Eastbound and down, ChatRats rolling heavy. Truth on our tailgate, justice riding steady. Mic in our hand and the signs slipping past what the chat rat said.
Playlist, angels taking charge, law leans on the mic and her notes hit hard. Mary B's lifted but she's sharper than attack. Dean's dropping questions while he's rolling in his Cadillac.
Break a rap mama here, got eyeballs on that shady scene. Y'all ready? Light it up, rats. 10, 4, 20. Northbound and bold, truth in the backseat. Chat rats got that heat, can't be beat. From the chat rats lounge to the courthouse gate, we ride for the truth and we show up to see that fate.